All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. First of all, we want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Chaf, Badash. We want to give double honor to the elders, the apostles of GMS, and shalom out there to the whole full expedition of truth and sincerity, man. Okay, back again another week. And it seems like every day is something happening in this kingdom that's, showing you that this kingdom is finished, man. Okay, it's all falling apart, it's imploding, man. And this is all part of end times prophecies. This isn't just a blip in time where Esau ain't doing so good and he about to come out of it and rise like the phoenix and reestablish order on the earth. He ain't gonna do that, even though that's in his plans, right? Because he's putting a new world order, right? He's getting ready to crash the system and rebuild it, right? With you in slavery, okay? In this digital age that he's bringing in, right? With the sea hip, right? But he ain't gonna be able to accomplish that. So every time we see this place breaking down, things not working and quite how they should be working, it makes us happy. Because that means his kingdom is breaking apart. The Most High is breaking it apart piece by piece. And then we have bits of news and that, like here in the UK, the water company, Thames Water, right here in London, right, they're responsible for the water for the people in London, right? And out of London, right? They're going insolvent, man. And the government got to step in and take it over, because back in the Thatcher era, man, they privatized it, right? Gave it to these profiteering companies, and guess what? Just like all these other companies, man, they've been knee high in shit, in debt, or head high in shit, however you want to put it, man. They got severe debt issues, man, and they can't pay it off, right? But the government, they're not going to let it collapse because people need water, so they're ensuring the people that they're going to keep providing the water and all that kind of stuff, and basically they're going to have to pick up the tab, right? But it's just another sign that Esau is bringing everything in. He's he's centralizing everything. He's gaining control of all these things, man. He's gonna rule and run all these industries. So when it comes to time where everything's gonna get rationed off, right? When there's great famine in the world and lack of resources and stuff like that, you're gonna have to go to him, and he's gonna tell you what you can use, what you can't use. Now we see already in some of these parts of the country when it gets hot and stuff like that, they put hosepipe bans and things like that. Not just this country, but other countries they do that too, right? They want to control or limit how much water you use, right? Now it's going to be a bigger issue because look, man, they can't even keep up the infrastructure for it. It's not even being sanitized like it should be, and things like that. There's a whole bunch of waste in the coast of England on the beach shores that people can't even swim in the water anymore. So when we see these things, this isn't the signs of a prospering kingdom, which is good for us, makes us happy. Because if Esau's meant to be the king of the world right now, and he meant to have all the goodness of the earth right now, because it was promised to him for a time, the fact that he's not having that right now, or things that shit ain't working like that no more, shows us his time is near to fall. Right? So it makes us happy when we see these things, man. These people are like, they're all upset and worried. Not us, man. Come on.
So we go for Ecclesiastes 25 and 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that has a joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Right, we're witnessing it right now. It's all about enemy, and it ain't nothing to do with what we've done. We didn't go fuck up Thames Water's, their financial books. We didn't do that. We ain't chuck the waste in the water. We ain't do all that, right? The Lord taking care of it all, man. The Most High made these people greedy, man. Because what happens when you privatize things, man? All this money that goes in there now, the money that they make, it goes mostly to their fucking CEOs and their board members and shit, the bonuses and shit, man. Right? When it's supposed to be going back into infrastructure, man, and paying your fucking laborers, man. Well, that's another thing in this. People are pissed off and fed up because they're not getting paid enough. But the board members and the CEOs, they're getting paid big money still, man, and getting more money every fucking year. But they're gonna tell their workers, "Oh, we ain't got the money." Well, no shit, because you fucking waste it on your fucking selves, man. So now it comes out, man. Like, because obviously it's not the fact. I think they're like 14 billion pounds worth of debt, right? They would have known they were in debt fucking years ago. But they never said nothing about it. They pretend like they're operating like normal, the devil, right? They like to lie and create that false facade that everything's okay. But it ain't okay. Just like the rest of this kingdom, it ain't fucking okay. Okay, it's all breaking apart, right? And there's nothing that this place can do to resolve any of that, man. Okay, this is the end of Esau, man. All right. So, like I said, yeah, it makes us happy to witness the fall of our enemy, man. To know that our time in this fucking hell is almost up. It's only a matter of time, and all we got to do is be patient and wait. Keep the faith until that, and enjoy until that time. The Lord has not asked us to do nothing strenuous. It's not like I got to go and find an Edom. I got to go find a Edomite in the world somewhere and get my hands on him. I ain't got to do none of that stuff, man. All we got to do is teach the word. The Lord's going to take care of everything, man. Because the next kingdom to come after this is ours, beginning with our Lord Yahweh Shai. All right.
Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinder cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened.
Right, the future of this place for these people is uncertain, man. They can't really see what's coming. They can't see what's coming, man. But we can see what's coming. We know what's coming. Everyone's hoping that it's just one of those bad times in the cycle of a kingdom that eventually comes out of, and then does good again. Everyone's waiting for that moment. Everyone's waiting for the next politician to come in and all this stuff to make things better, right? That ain't happening, man. Okay, Esau is at the end. The time of his end is come, right? Revelation 12 and 12 tells you that Satan coming for great wrath, he has got a short time. He hasn't got much time left, and that's why he has to get in. He has to get in his new world order, because if he doesn't, man, it's gonna flop. And ultimately, it's gonna flop anyway, because the Most High gonna interfere. But he needs to get a grip on the earth, right? So how he's doing that is by creating chaos in the world, right? Because they have that saying, "Order ab chaos." Okay, order out of chaos, man. That's how Esau is going to recollect things together, by putting the world in such a bad situation that the world is going to beg to have it resolved by them. And Esau is conveniently going to have the answer for you. And he's going to ask you to sacrifice something, man, your liberties. Because that's been the thing that's been going on for a long time, with all the fucking all the data breaching and shit. But they want more and more information, and people are giving up their freedom for their safety. And I can't remember who warned them. Some I think it might have been an American president or something like that. Don't quote me, right? But he was talking about. Oh no, I think it's. I don't know who said this. So don't quote me in it. But those that will give up their liberty for safety deserve neither, or something like that. There's a quote someone said, right? And people will be giving up their freedoms, man, for this safety that he's supposedly giving people. And Esau's gonna ask you to sacrifice everything. That's why you're not gonna own anything. You're gonna have to give everything up, because he's putting the salvation of the planet on you too. You gotta make all the changes to help the planet. Right, so you gotta give everything up, man. But Esau, he don't do shit. He just to make you do it. So that's what he's doing right now, man. And like I say, things falling apart is expected, and the continuation of things falling apart is to be expected. People might be shocked. Oh no, but this world is coming to its end, right? So it's all got to fall. It's all got to go down. All right. But it just shows you in the time of grab us that Daniel's 12, sure. in that time of trouble that the world's going to be in, man, you're going to see it. You've seen how these governments position themselves, man, by taking control of certain assets, man, right? And they're going to have their own control and authority over that, you know?
So with Daniel 12 and 1. And that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found obedient to them.
This is got to fail. It has to fail. And his government's going to make these power moves, but it's not going to look like a power move. It's going to look like they're being benevolent because they want to help the people. Because this company went under, or this happened, and that's you got to take control of this. Because otherwise, people are going to experience hell. Well, you're going to experience hell anyway. That's the feeling. You're going to experience hell anyway, right? And these are just setting up scenarios for them to come and move in and take control, man. You know. So yeah, I'm sure grab us 2nd Ezra chapter 9. So you had that happening here. You know, there's so much death going around these days, going on. You know, so much news and like strange death. You know, people losing their minds, doing crazy shit. You know, it seems to be going on a lot recently, man. But you got someone was shot down in France, some teenager, right? And them man are going crazy now on the streets with the police, man. The police getting set on fire. Police was shot dead too. I think in that little skirmish or whatever, right? But that's an ongoing thing right now, man. They're going to the streets and busting into shops, breaking shops down and whatever, man. You know, but we know Agent Provocateurs is in there, you know, trying to rouse up something here. So the government have to come in and do something more. Because Macron, I think 40,000 police he had out there, some shit, right? He coming with a harsher response. Okay, speaking more dragon-like. You know, because martial law is going to be a thing that's going to come here, man. And from their perspective, it's required because you people are uncontrollable now. You're out there burning people, smashing up shots and that. So we're going to have to bring in the troops. We've got to bring in martial law, man, to bring order in, because that's what government got to do, keep order. So they got all the reasons to come and be harsher, be more rough with you, man. Put people down, shoot people down and shit. You're giving them the excuses, or should I say they're giving them themselves the excuses. But I said you got the Agent Provocateurs in there creating a scenario, man. And most of you probably ain't even out there trying to cause any mad beef like that. But you know, you're gonna have police amongst you, or you know, his agents throwing Molotov cocktails at police officers. You know, and now you get caught up on a murder charge, man. And police are out for blood now because you just kill one of their dudes. You know, and it just goes back and forth. You know, chaos. It's exactly what it's chaos. You know.
So we go 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time deliberate in itself.
Right, so we're called or commanded to measure the time diligently. That means to keep a watch on things, man. Right? And the way you measure time is through these prophecies. Right? To know how far or how near you are to the end of these prophecies, man, to the end of this kingdom and to the beginning of the next, okay, which belongeth to Jacob. Right? So we're to watch the events that are unfolding on the earth, man, and line them up with the scriptures, line them up with these prophecies, man, so we can see, so we're able to see. But if you're not looking for it, you ain't gonna see it. You know, people out here just I don't care or can't connect the dots or anything. You know, it's just something that's happening somewhere in the world. You know, oh yeah, the water company went down. I don't know why the government's got it. They're not thinking. They're not seeing the progression of the world and where it's going to, man. Because all they're concentrating on is their little life that they've got, their little bubble, man. That's all they're concentrating on, man. And the amount of entertainment that's filled into it. Distractions, that's all they are. Entertainment is distraction. Bread and circus.
Yeah. What you're saying is true. I mean, the thing like the people that, like you say, like the people that they're living in the Bible, say like
what is happening in France is not going to happen here. That's what they're trying to say.
Because
What is
they know it's a scary place outside their bubble, man. They do know that. They don't want to come outside the bubble. Sorry, man.
what is going to happen? I mean, what is happening right now in France prepares to happen here as well, man, you know? And it's going to be everywhere. It's going to because we are living those times of the end. You know, there's not going to be peace, man. It's going to be chaos and the what? Death around you. That's it.
Everyone's gonna be suffering the same things, man, and people are gonna get hella frustrated with what's going on. Like some places are more placid, more placid than others, man. So they're not quick to go out and do mad protests and do mad things. But it will get there. It will get there for these places, man. Because there's only so much people can take. And this is the point I'm gonna make. Because everything's gonna change when people can't get food, man. You know, through the war, it's gonna go to a whole new level when people fucking start starving, getting hungry, man. People get irate. You know, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm not the happiest. You know, you always exaggerate, so I'm not that. but you know, yeah, people are gonna lose their minds, man, because people are gonna be feeling ultra desperate. Because people got things to protect. They want to protect the little bubble. You know, they want to protect the little bubble, right? Just like Esau want to protect the big bubble, you want the earth, right? So he's doing what he's doing, defying the Most High to try and keep control of the earth, to keep his rulership. Even though we can't, we're gonna try. But you people are gonna try and protect your bubbles, man, right? Because your whole world is about to be turned upside down. And this bubble gonna get popped. They're all gonna get popped, man. You know, they're all gonna get popped, right? And we've seen instances of that in the last couple of years with the pandemic and all that kind of stuff. People's lives kind of flipped over, man. You know, things have to change. You know, people don't think about it now, but a lot of people lost their jobs, man. A lot of people lost their lives, man. You know, their lives, their livelihoods. They're not supporting their family the same way they were before. My man had a good job, lost the job for whatever reason, you know, and now he's struggling to make ends meet with his family. That's causing a lot of stress on him at home. Woman, children need things, women want things. It's causing bare stress. You know, these people are not in a sound frame of mind, right? Some people would have died. Now they're single parent mothers or fathers looking after children and shit. Things have changed, man. But the world makes you feel like nothing's changed. It makes you feel like that didn't go on, because it may not have affected you personally in that way, but it has affected a bunch of other people that way, right? And more things are going to affect more people as time goes on, because we're just everything that happens, we're just like you're just waiting for the next thing to happen that's going to bring you down there, bring you down beyond beyond the breadline. Because people live just above it most of the time, right? So when the next thing comes out and fucks up this whole place, and you have to go through the pain and shit. Now you're living that life with that person who suffered last time. Now you're in that fucking boat. Everyone's gonna get shoved down there, man. So the world's gonna get pushed into great chaos. People are gonna be frustrated with the situation today, and they're gonna be fucking hungry, man. Maybe they can't get no food, and they're gonna go all out, man, and start being ruthless. You know. So these are all the things that we watch for, because this is where it all leads to. You know, so it's just there's signals for us, there's signs for us. It's you're driving down the road, it might say, oh yeah, there's a bend 100 yards away, or 100 meters away, whatever, right? And so it's coming up. That's like the prophecies, man. We can see kind of like how far we are into these prophecies, and get a gauge for how much longer we've got to go. We can't give you an exact date. That's not what we're here for, but we're here to keep watch of the prophecies, man, and to update you with things concerning the prophecies. Now, if you want to believe that, no, that's up to you, innit? But that's what we're here for. Some people just want to ignore it. They don't want to believe that dark future, the window's dark in that dark future that these men don't even know about. They don't want to admit that's going to happen. They hope we're wrong. But the way things are going, hey, we want to something,
So the book of Ephesians 5:15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Right, so to pay attention, man. To walk circumspect is to pay attention to the things around you, man. You ain't just fucking walking straight ahead of you, man. You're actually paying attention to what's behind you. You're looking for the threats or whatever, man. You're acknowledging things that are going on around you, man. You don't live in a bubble. We don't live in a bubble.
Like when you're in the jungle, isn't it? When you hear like, I mean,
Bro, you better have eyes everywhere, man. You know, above you, because you're gonna stay up from the
yeah,
tree and
they
shit.
don't jump on the tree. Tiger be roaming around, you know,
You know?
bear, you know, all these dangerous animals. They're gonna be around you, so you're gonna be always, I mean, well, aware. I mean, careful, you know.
And these prophecies surround you, man. Whether you like it or not, these prophecies surround you, man. There's no getting away from it. You know, like I said, those everybody just wants to be ignorant because what they say, ignorance is bliss. They ain't got to worry about nothing. They ain't got to worry about what's going on over there. But eventually, you're gonna have to worry about it because you're gonna be inside your hood. You're probably gonna get popped, and you're gonna be standing on the doorstep of fucking problem. You know, there's only so low you can bury your head in the sand. You know, you're gonna have to deal with it, man. But I say a lot of people are gonna break in that time because it's gonna be a harsh reality. One they've not prepared themselves for. Well, most people have not prepared themselves. These little guys out there that do see certain things, the Patriots or whatever, they're out there doing what they do in case the situation happens, right? You got some sort of that are semi-prepared, but you can't really prepare for the day of the Lord. And this is the thing now.
Because you never know where you're gonna be, you know.
Oh,
All the things of man are off.
Forrest Gump said, "Life's like a box of chocolates, man. You never know what you're gonna get, and then you don't know what you're gonna have to deal with, man."
As the Bible says, I mean, all the things of men are from Most High. So in that time, you may think like you have all, I mean, you already prepare everything for maybe for 6 months. Maybe you may say like these things are gonna die down, but what? You may find yourself, you know, in that bank or wherever it is where you put your stuff, man. You know? So you may find yourself somewhere else, man, in different city, and they're gonna be martial law as well. So you're not gonna be able to come back to your city. But guess what? There's somebody gonna come and what? Enjoy what you stole, man.
Yeah, and Lord willing aside, you know, most got ways to provide for his elect, right? So I think that these may be some of the ways that the Lord provides for us, man. Who knows, man? Because we don't know. We don't know specifically. That's what I mean. You can't really be prepared for it because you don't know. There's too many things you don't know, right? And the scripture speaks about putting the whole armor of God on, right? That's these scriptures. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding these scriptures. That's the whole armor. If you ain't got that, it don't matter what you prepared. You ain't got the whole armor. You ain't got all the defenses required. Because the best defense is the one where the Most High is with you, man. Where he's not going to put those things on you anyway. Or he's going to get you out of them. That's the best defense. So if you're not relying upon Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, it don't matter what you think you're prepared for. Because you can't prepare for everything. But Most High can. Well, Most High can. He can get you through out of anything. You know? Yeah. And we've seen that. And this is why we've got the stories. Okay? When we come out of Egypt, right? When our backs were against the Red Sea, right? The Gulf of Suez, like, there was no way out. Now you can't do nothing about that. What are you supposed to do? You're a fucking man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do like no. The Lord split the ocean or split the sea for us to walk on dry ground, man. How? Like you can't prepare for a situation like that. What are you gonna do in that situation? You could die. You know. So when this time comes, this time of great evil, great trouble, man, we have to rely upon the Lord to get through it. You know. So it makes little sense for us to do what you do. You know, preparing for the fucking end of the world, and we don't know how long it's going to be. You know, you don't know how long or whatever, but you're going to prepare for it anyway, not knowing that the Most High, if He wants you dead, He can get you.
And most of these people, I mean, of this world, we are all sick, actually, let me say. But most of these people are hooked to what? It's medicine, you know. They can't live by without what? The medicine. They can't live by without seeing the doctor. So it's gonna come to that time, you're not gonna have those access as well. Access to see your doctor, to see your medicine. You're gonna be found yourself what? Stranded there.
And so, and even if you got yourself prepared, you're prepped up, and you got all your medicines or whatever, you think you're good for fucking the next 20 years. I don't know.
It's gonna expire.
But they're gonna expire, bro. Like you don't have to die by that disease, man. The most I can have you have a heart attack. The most I can have you go insane because you're locked in a bunker for however. You know, anything can happen. You cannot cover all those bases, man.
That's what I'm saying. Sadness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like he did in Egypt.
Yep.
With darkness.
Yeah, the strange apparitions. Yeah. So you're never safe in the heavenly Father. If the Most High is not with you, man, you're never safe in it. You're never safe. So it's going to become vanity for all those people that are doing these things that the Lord's not dealing with, man. You know, but like I said, that leads into other things that could help us along the path. You know? Who knows? You know,
I really want to say, redeeming the time because the days are evil.
okay, redeeming the time because the days are evil, man. So this is why we have to be circumspect. And everyone knows we're living in an evil place, man. There's so much shit going on, but people do not want to address it. Like I said, they'd rather remain ignorant because they don't want to have to deal with it. But you can only go do that for so long. Right? Everybody's have to face the harsh reality of the things that we speak about, man.
No lie in the truth. That's what it is.
You know, so you have to deal with it at some point. And like I said, a lot of people are just gonna break because it's gonna break down. You know, and also another reason why you're just gonna do what the government tells you to do because it's too hard for you to think about, to worry about. If the government, whoever's in power, giving you options and giving you leadership or whatever, you're just gonna do what they tell you to do, man, because it's just easier. Because you don't know what the fuck to do.
That's what they did in the time when they bring the Jews, separate Jews. So they say, well,
Yep.
believe in science.
Yep.
So they trust
You've done all the testing, so you trust him.
They trust it. But what's happened now? See, people they say, well, they're coming on. They're coming up and they're grown up.
Shaking around.
Yeah. Or they say they're grown up deaths.
Yeah.
Something like that. They're grown up deaths, something like that.
Yeah.
We just sudden death.
Them side effects, man, that they didn't really want to talk about. That was a rare case of happening, but it happened far more often than anyone would have liked. But there was stringent testing, rigorous. Remember using that word vigorous, like it's the most tested substance in the world or some shit. No, it wasn't. And and to this day, it still doesn't have approval. It's never got approval, even now. And now it's over now, so don't have to worry about it no more. Yeah,
Was it just food?
It was just a test run to see what you dummies would do. And like I say, a lot of you dummies did what they want you to do, man. So when it comes next time, they need to bring out some global thing that you need to go do. Most of you are gonna go do it. They had here in the UK that UK wide text thing with emergencies. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the emergency text that everyone will get in times of emergency, right? They'll be using that, right? They'll go when shit hitting the fan and you're panicking. Their message is gonna go out and they're gonna be telling you to go to this place, go to that place, get registered here. Not really registered. I mean, get your seat here, right? And you can get your ration. They'll be giving directions to those people, man. And when they don't know nothing else, man. They're panicking. They're gonna do exactly what that message told them. So because you're not armed, not armored, not defended, right? You don't know. You're just gonna give in. But men that do know, men the Lord, the elect, will be part of that number, right? We're gonna know not to go there. But that's not going to help us, right? That's going to be the damnation of people, man, not the salvation.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
But if you're not being diligent, how can you receive wisdom and knowledge, man? If you're already concentrating on fucking Netflix, what's in the TVs, what's on the TikToks, and how can you be diligent? How can you be, you can't. Because you're purposely running away from things that you need to know. Or you don't think what's happening in Russia is a big deal? Well, it might not. Nothing might come out of it just this moment, but things have happened because of that situation. We had the whole energy price thing, which they were blaming on the Russians, which it wasn't just them. But they were using that, man. And so these things do affect global affairs, man, and people's lives globally.
They say, oh, all the big fires start with war. It's just a little spark, or a little fire.
That's right.
At the end, it's gonna be war. The whole jungle is gonna be war.
In flame.
That's what it's gonna be. It's starting last year. It's gonna grow. It's not gonna die down. Yeah.
And it's all a bunch of little fires everywhere. Until the whole thing just blazes up. And that's why we have to watch these things, because they do mean something. Like, it might not be like when the whole Russia-Ukraine thing was not like we weren't going, oh yeah, World War III's here. We weren't saying that, but it does have a place in its on the pathway to it. Everything has its place in the pathway to it. So we have to keep watch. But some people don't want to see that. It's like, oh, I don't want to hear about that. World War III, oh no. I ain't trying to hear. I don't want to hear all that. No, they can't possibly do that because that'd be the end of the world. I mean, yes and no. End of your world, but not end of the world. and we're waiting for that. We want that to come as quick as possible, but we have to, be sober, man, and be balanced about what's going on and what it really only means, and go through the prophecies, the scriptures, to know exactly where the big parts are in the prophecies. That's why we're waiting for the seeker, right, to be pushed, to be implied in people, right? We're waiting for the World War III, but it's not happening just yet because the chip has to come into play first, right? America's destruction is coming, right? So we're waiting for all these things, man. But there's a process. It doesn't just jump straight there. There's a process. Most times it's very meticulous in how he does things, man. There's an order to things. Right? Everything's in the Most High's time. Okay, there's a scripture on that.
Yes.
You know what that is. Most High has everything in his time, man. So he's spoken it, and he's abiding by his word. He's not going to break what he said. So things have to play out in the order that it has to play out. Okay.
This is the book of Second Ezra 4:37. By measure, as he measured the times, and by number, as he numbered the times, and he does not move nor steal them until the said measure be fulfilled.
Right. So, like I said, this is all the Most High's power. The Most High is in control of everything that's going on, and from the beginning, all this was set in a what's the word? Damn, my dictionary's running low right now. Set in motion. Right. Yeah, the dictionary is running low right then. Over the word. Yeah, it was all set in motion from the beginning, right? So there's a particular length of time everything was supposed to, come to pass by, right? So it has to play out to that.
Yeah, we as well, as a nation, we are the people of Most High, but we fulfill one of the prophecies in the Bible, which what we by going against him, he put us in the hands of our enemies.
Yep.
And he put all these curses that are written in the book of Deuteronomy 28:15 going down. So that's part of the prophecy. There are so many prophecies which already passed on us, and then which are coming.
Yep.
As they brother say.
And we make reference, we liken this to like a movie, Most High's movie, right? And it has a beginning, middle, and end type thing, right? And the movie is a certain length of time, and certain events take place in the movie, right? But they have to go in that order. You can't just jump to the end. It has to play through, right? So we have to wait. But we've been given a heads up what to expect. We got the script, so we know what's going to be, what to expect. We just have to wait to see it, right? And we're given the indications to know how long these things are going to last. Until the downfall of our enemies, the downfall of Esau, until the return of our Lord, right? To establish the kingdom of Israel. The same thing, by the way, that the disciples asked of the Lord when he came back, when he was resurrected. Right? They asked him, "Will thou this time restore the kingdom to Israel?" So it's something that they were expecting. There's something that we're expecting, man. The kingdom to be restored to Israel, because they're the rightful rulers of this earth, man. Whether you want to admit it or believe it or not, right? They have been chosen. They are the chosen people to rule over the earth, right? To be God's representatives on earth. That's why He chose them to be a people, right? And we never fulfilled all of those promises that were given to us at the beginning. We never became what we were supposed to become. But this is why we're going to be made perfect when Yahushua returns, man. And then we're going to fully receive what was said of us, right? And we're going to have dominion over the earth, and these heathens are going to be educated by us, man, right? And be put in their places, all right? Because like I said, the way the world or the heathen run things, man, it's chaos. It's chaos, man. It ain't right. That's why so much fucked up shit be happening with downtime, man.
Because they don't have the knowledge of the Heavenly Father, man.
That's right.
The science of the Heavenly Father.
And the Lord ain't dealing with them.
Yeah.
They got to deal with us. We're going to be ones giving them the laws, such commandments to abide by. They're going to have to abide by our word, because the Lord ain't dealing with them directly. No way. Never, ever. Right? That's what we're here for. You think the Most High going to address the heathen? He's never addressed the heathen, man. He might give a couple of dreams here and there, but the Lord ain't got them as His people, man, to do His bidding. They're not here for that. We're here to do His bidding. All right, so you're gonna learn English from us when we're made perfect, because we're gonna be like the Most High. We're gonna be like Yahweh Shai in terms of perfection. We ain't gonna be vessels of unrighteousness. So you can bank on whatever you say is good, is right. Right now, you can't say that, man, because everybody's wicked in this world. You know what I mean? Everyone has a false judgment. But it's not going to be like that in the kingdom, man. And that's what we wait for. This is what the world really needs, man. I know, you know, you people get scared because you're going to get an answer for 1,000 years. You get scared, and I understand that. But you need this. You need this place to fall and for us to rise and rule up. You need this, man. The whole earth needs it. Even the plants and the animals, they need it. Because under this devil, man, everything is dying, man. Everything's getting worse. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You know, so it's needed, man. Okay, we all need it.
This is the book of Romans 8 and 19. For the earnest expectation of the creatures, of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of Most High.
Right? I say, man, that's what we're all waiting for. Right? We're especially waiting for that. For the manifestation. Because right now we haven't manifested, man. We haven't awakened. You know, you got in them animes of the awakened power. Like we're not yet awakened, man. We're not fulfilled our potential yet. Right? So when Yahweh Shai comes, we're gonna be glorified, Lord, we're part of the elect, we're gonna be glorified and changed in the twinkling of the eye, as the scripture tells you, right? And we're gonna receive power like Yahweh Shai received power. Okay, we're gonna be quickened in the spirit. Okay, we're gonna be made perfect beings on the earth, man. That gives us the inherent right to rule. Because not only are we the chosen people, we're also perfect beings now, having suffered and having known wickedness and righteousness, to deal justly with people, you know, because we've experienced it, you know. So, well, I was gonna say as a reward, but it's not really. I mean, in a way it is, I guess. But you know, the Lord just simply chose our forefathers because He delighted in them, right? And made the sons of Jacob to be inheritors of that blessing, you know. And that's what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna do all that the Lord commands of us and wills us to do on the earth and make this place Idan once again, a paradise. It's not a paradise under Esau, man. Everything's suffering. That's why everything is waiting for the earnest expectation of the manifestation of the sons of God. You know what it says there? Yeah, roughly paraphrase. Yeah, that's what it says. You know, it's much needed. All right, because then we can actually have order on the earth.
Yeah, because as we understand, we say, well, when the righteous are in authority, everyone rejoice. People rejoice, but when the wicked, bears rule, everyone mourns. So that's the state of this earth right now.
And this is why people have their bubbles, man. Because if they come outside the bubble, man, they know it's nothing but problem here, nothing but pain, nothing but problems, man. Right? They lie to themselves that things are not as bad as they are. You know, they keep themselves distracted, so they're not thinking about it.
That's why they got this anxiety medicine, this
for depression tablets. Everyone's on fucking depression, antidepressants and shit. You know, but they know their life is shit, man. I mean, they get to enjoy little things like walking in the park and that, but even that's like a distraction. They go back home, close the doors now. It's the same shit. They go back to work, same shit. The bills, right? The bills still come in. The mortgage is kicking their ass. Yeah. You know, now you're pulling your hair out because you don't know if you're gonna keep your house or not. Or if it goes up another 5 percentage points or 0.5 percentage points, whatever, are we going to be able to live here anymore? We have to move, or I'm going to have to forfeit, go bankrupt or whatever, man. It's stress. We're stressed out here, man. We're stressed. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't even got that shit. We ain't even got that shit that they got. We're stressed for different reasons, you know? Lack of. But yeah, people are stressed, man. You know, and everybody has their breaking point. You know? Everyone has their breaking point, man. So we're going to see how these people react. But we know, according to the scriptures, man, it ain't gonna be pretty. The reaction is not going to be pretty, man. There's going to be blood in the street, man. Dead bodies everywhere. You know?
Got more? Yeah. Let me finish Isaiah. I'm going to go back to Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
This is the treasure here. You know, you got other people accumulating and amassing different things out here. Guess what? You're gonna lose that all. But this treasure we can't ever lose. Unless the God things and stuff. You know what I mean? But it can't be taken away from us, you know, from thieves.
Yeah, nobody's gonna take it away. You know, because it's been given by who? Moshe. But the wealth, the money, the cars, the house, prepare to lose, man. You know? But the knowledge is coming from above, man.
Yep.
You know?
You can die with that knowledge, man.
Yeah.
You don't lose that knowledge, you die with that knowledge, man. And not when you got riches. When you die, you can't take that with you, man.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, these are the real treasure, man. They're gonna become invaluable in the time to come. Because this is what's gonna keep us safe, man. You know, I know there's people saying money is a defense, man, but guess what? There's only so much money can do. You know, it's the same as like exercise profit if little. There's only so much exercise can do, man. Also only so much a martial arts can do. Only so much a gun can do in protection wise, you know. Okay, if the Lord is working with you, man, you got the ultimate defense. Right? Because all it is the Most High doesn't have to have so much hell come upon you. You know? You can lessen the load for you, man, so you can get through. You know? But the Most High, he can bring all his power down upon you, man, and destroy you, man. If he wants to. So don't mind how many times you can do press up, man. You can't resist the force of the Lord, man. You know? Can't get the Most High in the headlock and make him submit. You can't do none of that stuff. So all that's kind of pointless. The Most High have you torn up by dogs. You know? By a bunch of dogs, because that's been happening a lot recently. Dog issues. All of a sudden, there's bare dogs around place ripping people up. You know, with women and children and men and all kinds of things, man. And these are owners' dogs. They're not even just like wild dogs like that. They have owners. But the Most High put spirit on these dogs to go chomp on someone's arm or leg. You know? But there's gonna be more of that coming.
You plant they said they open them too.
Oh yeah.
Animals do like lions on the street, goats and stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't see that yet. Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's what certain.
Okay, I didn't see, I saw someone mention it, but I didn't see it. Okay.
So but here it's gonna be. I mean, that's gonna be a reality soon. All these animals that you see in the zoo, you know, the lions, they're oppressed to the team, right? You know, so they're gonna come out and when they come out, what it's gonna be? They're gonna be devouring people. You know, those bears, the tigers, you know, elephants, they're all gonna Moses is gonna let them loose. You know, the snakes, the python, you know, and python is that's snake, man.
Yeah, man. I hate crazy stories in other parts of the country. Man, I find snakes in the toilet bowl,
Yeah.
you know, spiders and shit. Man, I'm like, bro, how did you even get there, bro? And I don't even want to know. Got me checking my own toilet and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Even this reptile shops, I believe.
Yeah.
Some of them snakes, sometimes they scare this.
Yeah, man. Well, they're definitely gonna happen. Like if you got a pet store and shit going crazy, and you have to ban the store. Yeah, these things are gonna stick eventually. You know, because people are gonna bust up the shop or you know, things get out. Most likely gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And now I said you got things to do and you're not even thinking about. You never thought about these things before. Yeah, you gotta think about these things, man. You've been too used to your little bubble. You know, you don't think about these things. You don't look at your dog thinking one day it might try and rip my throat out. You're not sitting there thinking about that, but it might just happen. And just because you train it to be a good dog, don't mean shit. Most I put the spirit on that dog, man. That dog getting vicious now. You know, you ain't thinking about it.
So we got Jeremiah 15:2. And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such are for death to death, and such are for the sword to the sword, and such are for the famine to the famine, and such are for the captivity to captivity.
So people are going into slavery, man. I don't care what anyone says. People are going into slavery, man. It's not something. Team camps. Yeah. Right. The taming. They could take the taming or whatever, right? But slavery and captivity is not something the Most High writes off, man. He's with that, man. He hasn't got a problem with it. It is a suitable punishment for people, you know. It's not like, well, you might call it inhumane and all this kind of stuff, and it should never happen. But the Most High don't care about what you're thinking. If Most High wants to put you into slavery, he'll put you into slavery, man. Put chains on you and do all kinds of shit to you, man. right? Most High never once denounced the fact that anyone was in slavery. The only problem he ever had really was the fact that you heathens had us in slavery, even though he put us there. But the way you dealt with us, man, you shouldn't have done that, really. You know? So only people that really are not really supposed to be in slavery at all is his children. He couldn't give a damn about anybody else's children or his other nation, man. The Most High made it very clear in the scriptures he doesn't care about the other nations. Right? They're the dust of the balance to him. So you don't care what happens to you. You can go in slavery and do whatever, fuck it. But the fact that he put us there in slavery, man, and you did what you did twice, he has a problem with that still. Right? Which is gonna bring vengeance upon you, man. Judgment against you. Because you touched the apple of the Most High's eye. Right? And I was thinking about something yesterday, because when King Saul was chasing after David, right? There was moments where David could have killed Saul or had Saul killed. Right? But David feared. David feared the fact that he was the Lord's anointed. Right? So he told his men, Joab and that not to do nothing, because he feared. And when Saul did finally die, and the Edomite came to him and said, "Oh yeah, I slew Saul with the sword," because he asked me to or whatever. He was lying, but I think Saul took up in his own sword, right? Yes. David was wroth. David was vexed. And he said to him, "Look, you feared not to touch the Lord's anointed, and you thought, did you telling me that was going to bring you riches or whatever?" David put him to death, man. David put him to death because he didn't fear. Whether he was lying or not, he said something that was inexcusable, man. So he died. Right? It's like that you heathen. The fact that even though the Most High, because he knew Saul was going off, that Saul was being wicked because David hadn't done anything. Right? So he's being unrighteous, just like these people have been unrighteous, right? But he still didn't put his hands on him. But Esau had no problem putting his hands on us, man. Not an issue at all, man. He loved it, man. He couldn't wait to get his hands on us, man. Because you feared not to put your hand on the Lord's chosen. That's what I'm saying. All of them. That's what I'm saying. Awesome. But Esau's just the worst case.
They've been working together from the beginning.
Esau been in bed for all of them, man. Because Esau was just a pussy back in the day. He was. So he looked for any opportunity that he can jump in with somebody to take us down and take our things and take our possessions, our land and all that kind of stuff. That's what he was doing. He's always trying to usurp power from different places, different nations. That's why Haman was in Assyria, with the Persians, trying to get up in rank and power, and he got pretty high. He was got there. But the Most High cut him down, hung him up, right? But Esau's always been trying to do that. But now he is in power. He got the free reign. Now he's telling all the other nations what to do. Right? But like I said, you didn't fear to put your hands against the children of Israel, man. So you have to pay. Really, it's as simple as that, man. There's no getting away from it. So you're gonna go into slavery, man. Just like Revelations, Robert, shall I get that? Revelations 13 and 10.
This is Revelation 13 and start from 9. It say, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that lead us into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right. So that is your pre-planned judgment, man. You're gonna go into slavery because you put us into slavery. The one people who the Lord would not forgive, does not forgive you for doing so. You could have done it to an Elamite. You could have done it to a Moabite. The Moabite wouldn't have cared. But you did it to his children. So the judgment is you're going to go into slavery for that. And we know it to be true. It's all written in the scripture for it, right? For 1,000 years, you're going to be in that condition, man. But you got a judgment beyond that, which that's beyond just pure enslavement, destruction. That's what you're going to receive at the end of that, man, because you just took it too far. You're across the line, man. The Most I'm going to do away with you, man. So yeah, read that again, bro.
He that lead us into captivity shall go into captivity.
Right. So is there an escape from that? Can you say, well, I didn't do that, or I don't deserve that? No, the Lord said you do, though. Right. No.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Right. And like I said, you've done heinous things against us, man. So don't think we're going to treat you nice, man. Edomites going to get put to death a lot. In their thousands, hundreds of thousands, or whatever it is, because we're all going to have Edomites now on our plantations, right? Mistreating you for a long time. We're not even mistreating you. You're treating you like you're supposed to be treated. It's not even mistreatment. We're going to be treating you like you're supposed to be treated because of how you treated us. Justice, judgment, punishment. Right? So ain't nothing wrong with judgment and punishment. Okay, but it's right because it's righteous. Okay, because we're gonna be righteous vessels, aren't we? So everything we're gonna do to you is gonna be righteous.
As you say, what goes around comes around. Comes around it.
Yep, yep.
That's all they say in the world, is.
But Esau thinks he's what they call it, an exception to the rules. He thinks he's beyond that because he thinks he's God. He gets to control fate and destiny and shit. He thinks he gets to get away with what he done. Because what's the scripture say? Because judgment is not exercised speedily, right? Because it never happened on the day he did it, and it hasn't happened really since. Esau thinks he's rid off to the sunset already, man. He thinks he's gotten away. Because now he's in such a power, position of power now. It's like no one can do nothing about it. And Most High hasn't visited him yet, so Most High may never visit him. Maybe we're going to be in his hands forever, but that's not what the Lord wants.
That's why you want day and night to implement that technology
to ensure that we stay in his hands.
Yeah, so we can be what forever. In his hand, forever is slave. But that is not going to be. It's not going to be so because Messiah have what the set of people that are not going to bow down to the system, man, which has the upper elect. They're not gonna, those are the men that they're not going to be defiled with the women. They're not going to take this technology that Jesus is going to come with. And he's coming to save those people.
They're going to bow down to the beast.
Yeah,
for the image of his name, and not receive his God.
That's who Lord is coming for, to deliver. And it's going to be surprise, man.
Surprise, motherfucker. Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon, 5, right? It tells you when they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. Those that they mocked, those that they had in derision, right? It's not going to be what you're expecting, man, because this world hates us, man, and they hate us from a standpoint that they're righteous, so they don't believe they're doing anything wrong. They generally don't feel like they're doing anything wrong. They actually do think we're evil, right? Because evil is set against good, or most of that call evil good and good evil, man. We're living in a topsy-turvy world because of Esau, right? So they generally don't think they're doing anything wrong, man. They think we actually are the fucking devil, but it's really just you lot. You heathen are the devil. You the master of the devil, right? So he's gonna come like a strange thing to them. Like, how are these guys being saved, man? These guys, because people call all kinds of things, right? Rapists, murderers, and gangbang, all kinds of things, man. We're undesirables in this earth, man. We're good for nothing, pretty much, other than to entertain, right? So when they see Jake getting beamed up in his chariots, man, it's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, what? These fuckers, like, what the hell? I've been going to church every fucking Sunday. You know what I mean? Praying to my Jesus. But no one's coming to save me. And they're gonna be fucking like baffled. But the truth is, the truth was never for you. You've always been the wicked. You've just been convinced otherwise. Just like these small hats in the land of Israel today, the peons in there, they don't know any different, man. They actually do think that they're fucking children of Israel. They think the JOO. They actually do think that they're them, because their people have deceived them. So we know that it's going to be a real thing. It's going to be a real feeling that you're going to have. You're going to be fucking bewildered, man. Like, what the fuck's going on? But to us, it's going to be like, you said it. It's only natural it's going to happen this way. Exactly. We told you, man. Like, what do you expect? So it is what it is, man. But you're going to be like, you're feeling all kind of fucked up. Yeah, when you see in America, you're going to see the Jake being beamed up, man, and you're going to be seeing missiles coming over towards you, and no one ain't coming to help you, man. Jesus never arrived, and you got blown up, and turned into fucking pitch. You know what I mean?
Well, Jesus not gonna show up, but the one who is gonna show up.
Hey, if I know anything, white people can't take heat in it, so I don't understand. He ain't gonna be there. When the missiles come, he ain't gonna be there, man. It's too hot for him. He's gonna turn red like lobster. When the sun comes out, man, he might have to put the sunblock on. They got hide in the shade. They got to do all types of things, man. So you think Jesus Christ is gonna be there in that day? JC ain't gonna be there, man. JC ain't gonna answer no prayer in that day.
Yeah, Yahusha is the one who's gonna show up, man.
Our Lord. Yeah. Our
Like
Lord.
Jesus, it's gonna be hiding. You know, it's gonna be hiding behind the scene, man. So he's not gonna be there to help you. Yeah.
So, and it should be all those that worship idols, man. None of your people's idols are going to help you in the day of the Lord's wrath. You know?
As it goes on to say, here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Right? So again, this is what we've been waiting for, right? And it ain't nothing unrighteous. What we say is not unrighteous, man. Because these are what men of the Lord are supposed to be waiting for. Okay, the destruction of this kingdom, man, and the establishment of the everlasting kingdom, the righteous one, under Yahweh Shai. That's what we're waiting for. The part of that is enslaving the rest of the nations, man. You know, and I did a video yesterday about the true reparations, because they always talk about reparations, and the things that Esau promised us was bollocks, man. It's bullshit what he offered us. Now it sounds like a lot because JK ain't got that. JK even got a mule and a bunch of land to build and plant and do night con, right? So yeah, it's something that we ain't got. So it's, yeah, you kind of say that, oh, yeah, I could have done with that. But what he offered us, man, was nothing in comparison to what the Lord offered.
Is there off the line? Is there off the line?
Well, it's just some acres in the middle, isn't it?
But
no,
yeah.
I mean before originally.
But
They didn't do necessarily. That's when they didn't follow through with it, innit? So.
But now they're coming up with
Yeah,
a man, isn't it?
yeah, and it's nothing.
But the man is dying down. They know
Yeah,
that
it's not worth anything, man.
inflation and stuff like that.
It's not worth anything.
Esau is a cunning.
He ripping off people like he always did, right? But like I said, even with the, back originally he was offering the land and the mule thing, right? That was nothing, man. Nothing compared to what the Lord was offering us, or what the Lord had already offered us, man. You just have to believe it and do and follow the commandments. That's what was required of us, man. You know, but we're gonna get the earth, right? We're gonna get servants, right? Slaves, power, all the riches, right? That is the true reparation package that we're gonna, we're really gonna receive of the Lord. We don't have to wait on Esau. Fuck Esau. He don't fucking abide by these words anyway, so fuck him. He ain't got shit to offer us. You know, wait upon the Lord, man. The Lord gonna provide everything, man. I don't mean that literally. Like, he gonna provide everything for us, man. We ain't even want of nothing. We ain't gonna have fucking Esau trying to fuck up the shit all the damn time, man. Because even if you had the land and you had a more mule and you're working your fields and shit, man, Esau be always there trying to fuck your shit up, man. When Santa will come through and tell you, oh, you got seeds on your land, and we have to take the whole fucking land off you, man. You know how this devil fucking works, man. You never have peace anyway. Even if you did have Esau's deal, man. It's a fucking shitty deal anyway. You know, the Most High gonna give us everything, man. Yeah, it's and after they're gonna be and at the end of the day, they're gonna take the land. And what does that serve, man? It's to say that the borrower is serving to the lender. It just puts us back in the same fucking position, doesn't it? You know, the same position we're in now, the fucking debt and poor. So Esau knows how to get shit back. That's one thing you do know how to do, man. That's why all these rappers and singers, they get their record contracts, they get rich, relatively, right? And then when they don't want it no more, they take all the shit back off them. They're gonna keep all the master labels, the records, right? So they don't even own their records, right? So they make all the money off it still after you're dead. You know what I mean? He still get everything back, man. He's just a thief, right? So when the Lord comes, He won't give us everything. He gonna provide us with everything, man. Okay, read it. Yeah.
So Romans 8 again and 18 says, "For I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us."
Right, and like I said, this time of suffering that we've been through, this chastisement the Lord has put us under, is a small thing in relatively speaking, right? Because in the kingdom, which is everlasting kingdom, where we're gonna be blessed forever and for eternity, right? What's this little chastisement period that we've been? What's that in comparison to that? It's nothing. It might as well not exist in a way, because it's so small in comparison, right? So it is a small thing to the Most High. It is completely. It might feel bigger for us because we're just men in the flesh, and then we just take everything like to the max. Oh man, you just so fucked up all the time, right? It feels like time's going so long all the damn time, you know. But it's not like that with the Heavenly Father. The Lord has really gave us a life of fiction. You know, it's not even lasting very long in His mind. You know, you might be, your kid might do something wrong. You might give him a little slap or whatever, and he's crying, you know. But he stopped crying after, 10 minutes or whatever. 10, 20 minutes. You might see me to the room or whatever, man. But then if it's calm again, the chastisement was small. You know what I'm saying? But you're cool with your kid after that, man. It's not like you're going to be permanently mad for him for fucking ever just because he did something, that he shouldn't have done. Or whatever. The Lord says it's for correction, man. The Lord is angry with us, but not to the point where he's going to be angry with us forever. So this is just a chastising that he put on us, man, which is just a small amount of time in the grand scheme of things, man. The Lord loves us, man. And the Lord's going to show that to us. After we receive that correction, the Lord's going to show us, man. You give your boy a slap or whatever, he's crying and shit, and then after you give him the pep talk, well, son, you need to learn, innit? And everything's cool, but and then you love him, man. You know what I mean? You love your child, you love your son, you love your children, right? Same with the Lord, man. The Lord loves his children, the ones he has chosen, right? Yes, he chastises us. Yes, he's put hell on us, and it sounds grievous. On a man level, it's fucking crazy, but on the human level, it's not, right? But the Lord's going to show his love towards us, man, by giving us everything, because we would have earned it then.
Even the process that we are going through is pure love, because if someone loves you, he wants to see you do better, So we did it long. As Messiah put us in this position, he lays our enemies to be our adversary, but at the end, it's gonna work. It's gonna work good for us, because as the brother said here before, we are here meant to learn. We're gonna understand. We're gonna appreciate it in the kingdom, because we're gonna see how bad it was. Be under war. This is a condition we're in when we do folly.
Yeah, he's going to show us what it's like when we do folly and what it is to actually listen and do as we're told. To obey the Lord, to obey our Father. Because yourself, man, like, if you go against your mother and speak, you don't go against your dad, you're going to get a whooping, man. And you learn to fear, you learn to respect, and you learn to love, man. You learn to respect that man. What it is, man. I'm trying to teach you. And you don't really realize that a lot of the time. Some Jake never fucking realize it. Until you get older, man. As a child, you're a bit emotional. You don't see the bigger picture to everything, innit? So you get emotional. You think, oh, that's he's beating on me or whatever. It's not that. It's not that. But there's a certain level that you're expected to sort of obtain, right? To make you a decent all-round kind of person. And this is our process that we're going through to make us an all-round, decent, righteous people, man. But we've got to know the witness to have a deep understanding of what it means to be righteous, man. How to be righteous, and how to deal with others righteously. Because among our people, man, it's nothing but wickedness, let's be honest, man. Our people treat each other like shit. You can't trust Jake. Like, even just random Jake, they might look nice, but you can't really trust them because you don't know what they're really on. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to rebuild all of that. So once we're all changed and once we're all made perfect, we know that everybody's on the same wavelength. Everyone's thinking and feeling the same about these things, man. So you can trust each other. And that's something the Most High is teaching to all our people, man. Beginning with the elect, because obviously the wicked of our people are going to be destroyed. But once they come back, it's going to be like that with all of us, man. Okay, we're going to be united. We're going to be good. We will be right to each other. And that's a blessing in itself, man. Because I would like nothing more than to be brotherly with every of our brothers that are here, man. But it just can't be that way right now. So they made adversaries against us, man, because they're on some dumb shit. That was it on that, yeah? Yeah. Can we go back to second entrance? 9.
Second Ezra 9:1 again. He answered me then and said, measure thou the region in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is a very same time wherein the highest would begin to visit the world which he made.
So this is what we understand from all these signs that are occurring. And the Most High is visiting, right? He's visiting because it's the end of times, or the end of this time, this world, right? This age, okay, is the end. The Most High is visiting and doing things on the earth, man, that's bringing down this kingdom, this system that Esau is in control of right now. Right? So everything that we see breaking apart, it's all good signs for us, man. It means your kingdom is coming to its end. Okay, and ours is about to begin. Okay, there's a transition of power happening in the spirit, right? Because right now we haven't got any physical power. We're not sitting in any seats of authority or power or anything like that. But spiritually, it's changing. Okay, it's shifting. The momentum is shifting, man. And it's always going to be in our favor.
Because everything's starting in the spirit. You know, everything is being established in the spirit. I mean, everything that is being established in the spirit is going to be what? Performed here on the earth. So that's what we do right now, man. It's the beginning of our journey to excellence, man. You know, from the poor, from the dust to what? To excellence, man.
Because all this is in here is the will of the Heavenly Father, man. And that's been his desire from the beginning. To have all these events play out. Right? To get to this point, or at least at this point in time, or in that, right? That the Most High is going to destroy the last kingdom or last empire that's spoken about in Daniel chapter 2. Right? The last kingdom has to fall. This is that last kingdom. Right? And Yahushua is going to play its role in its destruction. And he's going to be established, and he's going to rule forever. And that's going to start a new chapter of life on the earth, man. That's a whole new age now. You know, that's what it means. When the end of the world, it means the end of this age.
You're gonna start what? Number one.
Yep. Start again, start afresh. Like I said, the earth is gonna be renewed. New earth, new heaven, new earth, right? Kainos, refreshed, renewed. Right, we're gonna start afresh.
Here one of the Lord.
Yep, that's right.
Done that. And we'll count from there on.
Well, might lose count. You have to make up new numbers. But that would be the beginning. All right, the beginning. Well, is there a beginning? If it goes on forever, oh man, you know,
there's no end.
There's no end. So I don't know, man. I don't even have to quantify that in my mind right now.
That's gonna be a beginning, isn't it?
Yeah.
One, that's it.
Yep. That's right, and forevermore.
As goes on, he said, "Well, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and the uproars of the people in the world."
Right. So we've been seeing earthquakes. There's always earthquakes going on. The most recent notable one was what happened in Turkey, Syria. I don't know how many died, but lots of died in that one. So tens of thousands of people died. Something like that. So that was the most notable one. But yeah, earthquakes have been going on, and they are frequent, right? But in this time that we're in, everything's coming together. It's about the accumulation of things into one specific time period, right? To know the end. It's not sporadic things that happen here, there. All these things are happening all at one time now. So it's a global thing that's going on right now. All right, it's all happening at one time, affecting everybody. Right? I mentioned the uproars. No, I just mentioned what was going on in France. Well, now it's happening in France now, kind of thing, And they're not the only ones. You know what I mean? It's going on in the earth. People are upset. Okay, they're afraid. They're frustrated. But them frustrations are going to grow. Right? Where things might build up, these protests build up and then die down a little bit, and then another protest comes, wherever the case may be. But when, like I said, when you're hungry and you ain't eating, right? You're gonna see how people's reactions change, man. You'll see how they're gonna treat people differently. All right. Scripture speaks about the love of many waxing cold. Right? They're not even gonna care about each other, man. So they might even be standing side by side protesting against the police or whatever, man. But eventually they're gonna fight each other, man. Such as the situation is gonna be. Yeah. What's that? I've got it lined up. Yeah, you get to that.
Then shall thou well understand that Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Right. So this is what we understand. That's why we're clued up. Most High has given us that understanding to acknowledge those things. Now these people out here, they won't acknowledge those things. They don't know what this means. They're just going day by day in their little bubbles, so they're not really paying attention to what's going on. All they're caring about is, can I pay my mortgage this month? Shit like that. Did I feed my kids this month? Can I get to work this month? Things like that. They don't know how bad things are really going to get, and they're just hoping things are going to go away. That's not what's going to happen. Things are already going to get worse. So more protests, more violence, more fire, more breaking down of society. You know, these are the signs.
Economic collapse as well.
Yep. Well, well, that's going to be a major one. When that drops, that's when you're going to find out problems, man. That's when you're going to find that you can't afford food, you can't get food because you ain't got no money, or your money's not worth anything.
Can't pay mortgage.
Got no pension. You ain't got fuck all now. Yeah, you ain't got nothing now. All you got is your kids and dirty nappies. You know, you got nappies, but you're gonna be stressed out, man. Severely stressed out. You know.
That's what they show in the movie is going to be behind the sun. All that they put in the movie is going to be in the street near you.
Yeah, they call that predictive programming. It's like you kind of accepting this state things are going to be in because you were shown it before. So you think that's just like the natural course of events that's supposed to happen. It's been orchestrated, man. You're being led down that road. You know.
For like us all that is made in the world as a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
The end is manifest. The end things, the end prophecies are manifested. Other prophecies already been and gone. They had already manifested, right? Whether you want to accept them or not, they have manifested, man. And these last days, these prophecies are manifesting now. Habakkuk 2 and 3. Everything's at an appointed time. It was spoken from the beginning, but it has a timeline to play out. You know, like I said, it's like a movie, man. There's points of interest that happen throughout the movie. You know,
It's the book of Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tell. Wait for it, because it shall surely come, it will not tell.
Right, so you're not going to get everything in one go. It's going to play out. It takes time. There's an order to things. Most ideas an order. All right. So things we spoke about, even though we spoke about the beginning of elders and apostles from way back when, and they weren't really prominent at the time. Things are becoming more prominent. Like the RFID, the implantation, the implantable RFID. All them stuffs were like backstory news type thing. You wouldn't hear much about that. But now things are coming more into the forefront now. Be spoken about more. Now you got Elon Musk wanting to put things in your head, and he's saying you're going to cure your illnesses, your ailments and stuff, right? But now it's being spoken about, things getting put in your head, things getting put in your hand. You got that Noah Yuval Harari talking about defying God and using technology to defy God with AI and all this kind of shit. Like all this shit's happening now. Because these are the last day prophecies manifesting, man. Before it's a point in time, and there's still more to come, so we just have to wait. Some people want it because we said it; they want it to happen tomorrow. But it doesn't work like that. And they want to say to you, these men don't know what they're talking about. It's years, nothing's happened. Just wait. That's what we're saying. Just wait, innit?
Well, certain people they're already having those technology. Yeah. They open their doors.
Yep.
They buy their food they buy their groceries.
Yeah.
So this things are happening.
When Nathaniel said, it's just for tracking. He said it was just for tracking. Way back when. By the way, well done, Nate, for surviving another June. It's July now. 1st of July today. And we'll see what stories you're spinning next year, next June, if we're still here. About the RFID and that kind of business. You see what stories you spin then. Because it's gonna be the more time passes, more that's gonna become more prominent, man. Like I said, bro was mentioning about those, there's instances where, let's say it's not many people, but it is in the thousands of people, got these implants, opening doors and buying things, buying train tickets and having medication, information on their medical status and stuff on their chip. They've had all that. They've been doing all that. It's been test run for ages, right? They are ready to implement. They've had big enough people to test it out. It is ready to implement, and now it's the appropriate time when. That's all it is. And Esau making that situation come to be. Or should I say the Most High is making that situation come to be. Okay, by having these devils, do their false flags or whatever, man. All right? But it will come. And it ain't going to be just those, a few thousand people that did it already. It's going to be out there in masses, man. Millions of people are going to be flocking to get this. Billions are going to be flocking to get this. And then what are you going to say? Oh, don't be concerned about that. Don't worry about that. That's not the MOTB. Well, your congregation ain't going to feel so easy, man. Guarantee you, man. Your congregation will be having serious doubts in that time.
Should be deceived at the time as well. Digital ID,
Yep.
Digital healthcare as well as they've been talking. I believe they were trying to do trials in Yorkshire. Yeah, in the UK. Yep. They were trying to they are doing trials how to use digital healthcare system,
We're going to 50-minute cities, the smart cities, right? To monitor you, to locate you, and we'll just watch what you're doing, man. It's funny that it's all coming together. It all surrounds the same sort of technology. Why is it important that we have the 5G and the development city? Because it's instantaneous information transfer, pretty much for them.
And to be deceived is going to be programmable money. So it's like 15-minute city. It means you can't spend your money outside the book.
Yeah,
it's massive.
Just like you can't spend your voucher outside of Argos. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, your Argos voucher, you can't spend it nowhere else.
Yeah.
It's got to be in Argos. Right? Now, you get the CPDC, it's only valid inside the city, your little mini city, whatever. Because you're not really supposed to go out. That's what you don't need to go out.
It's a prison.
Yeah.
It's a meanest prison.
Alex Jones said this. That prison planet, man. But that's what Esau's creating. Okay, it's not a joke. But he's just sly with it, man. He make it seem like he's trying to help everybody, man. Make everything convenient for you. But that's the subtlety. That's the selling point. Because yes, it is convenient. That can't be denied. It is hella convenient, man. Because it sounds good. If I was living in a 15-minute city, I ain't gotta go travel very far for work and all this kind of stuff, and I can just chill. I don't have to, do all this madness. It sounds like my life's easier. I ain't got queue. I can just tap. I ain't got to worry about the cost of a car. I can save the planet too at the same time. I ain't, burning fossil fuels and all that kind of shit. Yeah, it makes it sound good. But the reality of why Esau wants to do that isn't for those reasons he's telling you. He don't give a shit about the planet. He don't give a fuck about making life convenient for you. He's only about making his life convenient for himself. That's why he don't want you to own nothing, because he wants to own everything. He wants to eat real meat, but you're not consuming too much. It's costing us too much money to produce all this shit.
But they still, produce, what? They were chicken, meat from the lab.
Yeah.
But that's destroying the
all this beyond meat shit. Like, there's plenty of meat on the planet, man.
Those chemicals coming out from those, from those laboratories, stuff like that. Are they not destroying the earth?
That's it. So like I say, Esau, guided by the Most High, is creating all these situations, man, and giving you these reasons why he's got to do all these things, right? Which on the surface sounds reasonable, but he's got a insidious, nefarious motive behind all of that, man.
So everything sounds good,
But that's what the serpent sounded like to Eve. It sounded good. It's meant to sound good. He ain't gonna tell you straight up, man. Yeah, we're gonna use this to enslave you. He ain't gonna tell you that, man. Why? Who the fuck would do that? What do you expect from this devil, man? Like he gonna tell you straight up. He's called the devil for a fucking reason, man. Enticing words.
It's the book of Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but woe was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they drawn sword.
If you think Esau loves anybody, man, you are fucking dead, bro. He ain't nothing but waging war against everybody, man. He's the fucking red horse. He's Esau, the one that has best with the sword. He hates everybody, man. He ain't satisfied at all. So he's quite happy to see everybody dead, man. He don't give a shit. As long as he can get everything. You don't want you to have nothing. And that's the words out of the WEF, man. You won't own nothing, all right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say like they did. Esau is not satisfied, man. He's just deaf and cannot be satisfied. He won't stop until he's had more than he can get. you know. And so, yeah, this ain't nothing to him. So he's gonna give you all the bullshit. He's gonna give you the smooth words to convince you that it's good for you. Yeah, it's only good for him. But it does. That's what he does throughout all the time. That's why it's spirit of the fucking devil on him, man. He's the serpent, the old dragon, the red dragon. He is that. He's Esau. Right? He beguiled Eve and set this whole fucking world of sin in motion, man. So yeah, this devil's not to be trusted, man. Alright.
Again, this here. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 3, I'm starting from 1. It says, what? To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. And that's the time that we're in. You know, a lot of people are mourning, you know, because of the what? The bills that they are paying, you know, the lifestyle they're in, you know. Everything is under oppression right now in this part of the earth, you know. People are hooked up with medicine. People are sick, you know, every day.
Well, fuck, like, in America, man, you got fucking zombies, living zombies. In America, man, they're just fucking struggling with drugs and shit, man. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, it's disturbing. You know? You think that's just in the movie. No, that's real life now. And it's funny because everything in the movie seems to become real life, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? All these sort of ambitions is what he's working on, man. What he's showing you is his desires. What he plans going forward. And although, albeit, like, he can't achieve all those things, he's not able to produce everything he's showing in the movie. There's a lot of things that are very similar to what he's done in the movie now. Like, why is there such a big thing on the zombie movie? But now we're fucking zombies living on the street. You know, mostly Jake, because they're not down and bad and they're trying to escape. But then there's, you know, on drugs and shit. But this shit, guy, it's a scary place, man. I mean, I even saw one guy here in my fucking in my town, right? Like that. Man, standing on the edge of the curb by the road, and I don't know if he was trying to pick something up or he was just bent over. He was like this, bro. And he was just standing there, and he fell over, and that was it. He just stayed like that, bro. He was just fucked. And he's hooked in that shit too, man. And you know, before you just see it in America, but you can see like that's not the case, man. That's gonna be else in other places too. Like I might always saw that one guy, but I bet there's another guy somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just happening in America. It's happening everywhere because America is like the beacon of everywhere, right? It's the light of the world right now, even though it's the light of darkness, but it affects everybody else in the world, man. And everybody else follows after that shit. Just wickedness. That's why everyone, you know, all these kinds of fucking LGBT fucking campaigns and shit. Because of fucking that place, you know. So this place is just becoming more and more corrupt, more and more defiled, man. You can see it happening, man. Things are getting worse. More homeless. Just see it, man. This is not a prospering kingdom, which means it's a kingdom on decline. Because you had your high point, you know, during the 70s, that you had your high point, but now you're on your decline, and it's all to see. The shame is being seen, you know. So again, it makes us very happy to see this, because that means the return of our Lord is nearer than when we believe. You know.
There's nowhere to hold on anymore.
Can't hide the shit, huh? Was it there? Okay, I think we're done with that one. Grab us Isaiah 19 for the show.
Up in the top.
Yeah.
This is the book of Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord lighteth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Yep.
And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, seat against seat, and kingdom against kingdom.
Right, so this is what's gonna boil down to, man. Like right now, you have collections of people fighting against, governments and stuff like that, because this approval, this and that. But eventually, man, this is gonna come out of all that war kind of thing, and they're gonna be fighting one another. Like I said, when that famine sets in, and people start getting desperate, man, people are not gonna care about others. They're not gonna care about other people's plights and their hardships. They're gonna become wholly selfish. Again, I mentioned the hard man shall wax cold. Right, so the laws are turning against each other. Right, the moral decline is well, it's, like I said, it's been happening, but it's gonna collapse. It's gonna completely go. Friends against friends and brothers against brothers. They're not gonna give a shit about each other, man, because they're all gonna want to survive. And it's kind of like during the pandemic, you had them pros, those that were with it. Really get on those that didn't want to take it, man. Talking about how you're killing everybody, and they were getting very aggressive. And they said they should all just drop dead. So you don't really see that attitude, creeping into society, man. When things are really bad, that these people are not gonna give a fuck about you, man. They want you dead. You're causing problems. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have those that are down with what's going on, and those that ain't. And they're gonna become enemies, man. And they're really gonna ride out, man, because they're gonna lose their minds. There's gonna be a whole different spirit upon the earth, man, in that time. Yep.
And they used to know how to work in the mind of the people, man, to create this division using the media as a tool,
Yep.
And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the withered.
Right, so in order for Esau to create this new world order he's trying to do, man, they always cancel their demons, man. Find out what moves to make next. Because it's not an easy thing. They got to do a controlled demolition of the whole earth. But they got to make the right moves at the right time. And that's why they always go by the stars and the numerologies and their witchcraft, basically, man, to make sure that they get everything right.
Sacrifice as well.
The sacrifice they do on particular dates and things like this, man, because they feel if they didn't do that it wouldn't work. But what they don't understand is the Most High really moving them to do these things, those dates, and then sacrifices don't mean shit, because the Most High will still have them do what they're doing anyway. But they believe in the witches, the idols that they consult with.
I believe. I'm not very sure, but I believe. Every time major events happen, like World War I, World War II, those events, Esau he always come with something new, because of the sacrifice that he have fought.
Yeah, that's why we get things like May Day and things like that. They're based on the sacrifices, man. As like I said, they consult these demons. Like they're into witchcraft. It's not a joke. Like it's not like something you just see in a movie. Witchcraft has always existed. But now it's more subvert. You don't see it. To be honest, you see it more than you ever do. But people don't recognize it. People are not privy to what the witchcraft is.
Yeah, I didn't.
Everything's in plain sight. All the symbolisms and the numbers they put it all there for you to see, but you don't recognize it. So it's there in plain sight, but you just don't see it. But they use this constantly, man, to get to get power of, to further their enterprises, man, their endeavors. Yeah, that's it.
We go on to say, and the Egyptian will I give over into the hand of the cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them.
Only that's the Lord, Yahweh Shai, when he returns, man. And like I say, Yahweh Shai's not here to play games, man. He's gonna come with wrath and anger. Right? That's why he's given the iron rod to smite the nation, to smash them up. Right? So he's a cool Lord, because he's gonna be an administrator of punishment. Right? To begin with. Yep.
Over them, said the Lord,
the Lord of hosts, and the waters shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up, the leeks and flags shall wither.
As like I said, there's gonna be all kinds of problems going on, man. You know, lack of food, lack of water, lack of a lot of things. You know, so things are being desperate. Man. Yep.
The pepperleads by the brooks, by the mouths of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. The fishes also shall mourn, and and all they that cast anger into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the water shall languish.
Sometimes the rest of them,
Isaiah 19 and 11. Sure, the princes of the one are fools, the counsel of the wise counselor of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? Where are they? Where are they? Where are thy wise? Sorry. Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts has purposed upon Egypt.
right? So I said everything Esau's doing, he's doing believing that he's gonna set up a new order out of it, right? So he's like doing this, kind of demolition job of his system, thinking that, we're gonna build back better. That's that slogan, right? We'll build back better. Not knowing that this demolition that he's doing, that's it for him. Like, so everything is failing because the Most High wants it to fail. So you're really fools, man. You're destroying your own kingdom, and ain't nothing gonna come out of it. That's why I say, the Thames water, you're going under now. The government got to step in and take your shit. Everything's just failing in this planet, man. Businesses are going out of business. Debt's just growing. You got to increase the debt ceiling. Everything's just not working, man. As it should do. Okay, yep.
Continue to say, the princes of the one are become fools. The princes of north are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes of the tribe thereof. The Lord has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, and as a drunken man staggers in his vomit.
Right, so I say everything in society is failing. The people are failing, the education is failing, the infrastructure is failing, business is failing, everything's failing, the banks is failing. Ain't nothing working. And it can't be coincidence that all this shit's going wrong. All of it's going wrong. And we know one dominant word, especially if it's America. If America fails, the whole earth fails. That domino effect, man. Right? And like I said, everything is just failing in the world. Nothing ain't working right. They're all drunk. They're all fools, man. And there's nothing they can do about it. They're rocking a hard place. It doesn't matter no more. You got people out here trying to figure out how to kind of balance things out and get back on track on whatever, man. But you're down if you do, down if you don't. It's like the banking situation. They keep putting interest rates up, right? But then, man, they say they've got to trigger a recession. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? To keep the prices down. Like, none of this makes sense. Like, you're fucked either way. You're fucking people, man. Only destruction is ahead of us for this world. And again, it makes us happy. Was that what I wanted to do?
Everyone is looking at America. I think America is going to be prosperous forever. So. It's the book of Isaiah, Jeremiah 51. I'm start from 6. Free out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul, be not cut off in our iniquity. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, that he will render unto her a recompense. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations are drunken of our wine, therefore the nations are mad.
Right, so America's been a favored nation on the planet. That's why it's been made the top nation on the planet. Right, so it's favored for the Lord to have them in rulership, even though they're the wicked. But the Most High set them up to bring them down. They're just like Pharaoh. All right, but in that favor, the other nations look to that nation like something they want to aspire to. Right, so they adopt their ways, they adopt certain things that they do to make themselves more prosperous, or they do deals with them, contracts, right? Because they want a piece of what America's got, the money and the prosperity. So they want to do the trade and stuff, right? That's why China is heavily following America, man. China does the most trade with America because China's got billion things to sell, man. America buy it all up. That's why they're going to be kind of upset when America gets destroyed. But like the rest of the merchants, as it goes into say in Revelation, right? But yeah, everybody's trying to get something out of America, man, to make themselves more prosperous. So to keep them deals going, guess what? They got to do certain things that they might not traditionally would have done before, and that's why you see Esau go to these African nations, man, and talk about LGBT and shit. But if you promote this, we'll give you this money. Some of these guys are like, fuck you, man. We don't want your money. We don't want to promote that shit. So people are more standing their ground with certain things because they just won't accept those sort of things, man. But the rest of the world are kind of on it. They don't mind. They just want that fucking skrilla, man, so they can pop themselves up. So they've sold themselves out. Right? They've shared in that wine with America, man. And they've been made drunk.
I believe America is the number one country, consuming country.
Has to be. Because even though these Chinese are a big nation, man, they're mostly exporters, man. Yes, they sell all their shit to America.
Yes, United States.
By a large margin. By a fucking large margin, man. So what? The newest ones was at 8 mil.
Yeah.
Millions, right? Yeah. Right. So Europe consumes 8 billion, millions.
Million.
Oh yeah, but fucking hell. I don't have to break that number down, bro. Is it millions of that number?
Yeah. US, million.
Or is that just that number in general, right?
Number in general.
Yeah. Okay. So that's 8 million, over 8 million, right? America is over 18 million. Right? So bigger than the whole Europe, but they consume, they buy. They just buy and buy and buy. That's why Chinese have been made big out of America. That's how China's got its status today, man. America's just going to China, coming up in power, man. But America's still the dominant power on the earth. That's why the Lord set up. So yeah, America's the golden cup. Yep.
The nations are drunken of our wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly foreign and destroyed. Our for her, take a balm for our pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone unto his own country. For our judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the sky.
All right, so America is going to be destroyed, man. It's going to stay destroyed, man. Ain't nothing going to come revive America. All right, that's why it's on its decline. It ain't going to revive and become better. Like all these presidents promise, we'll build back better and all this stuff. Like, it's not going to come back. America is on the fucking life support right now. It's terminal. Okay, and the Most High is going to deal with it, a fatal blow. Okay, in the midst of World War III. Okay, with those nuclear missiles, man. And that's going to be the end of America, man. right? That is what's in the cards for America, and its fate cannot be changed, right? And it's only because of your pride that you can't accept that you can't admit that America is on a downfall and it ain't coming back. You know, you still believe in your military and stuff, which on a carnal level, yeah, maybe you're justified, maybe a little bit. But on a spiritual level, man, bro, you're gonna fail, big time.
True military is coming from the heaven. Man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be led by who? Yahweh Masha.
Angels of the Lord, man. They're gonna come and fuck your shit up, man, and leave America a desolate wilderness, a lake of fire. Right? America's gonna take the biggest L in history. Right? No matter how fucking mighty their military is, man. Okay, they're gonna be made to look weak and pathetic. Right? And all these nations are gonna watch and observe that destruction, man, and be afraid. You know? So there is no healing balm for America, man. Okay? Like we keep telling you, man, it's on its way out, and that's exactly where it's gonna stay and go. That's the trajectory of America, man. You know? No matter what you got to say. The evidence is all there, man, and the prophecies speak the truth. You know? America's that sacrifice, you know, to the Lord. Yeah. How was it on that, yes? Okay. All right, done with that then. Second Ezra 15. Verse 14.
This is the book of Second Ezra 15 and 14, which reads, "Word to the word, and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and a sword in their hand."
All right, so everyone's gonna get whatever they can get hold of, any weapons they can get hold of, right? And start roaming the streets in search of things, man. You know, because right now the focus is, you know, certainly focus. They're focused on the governments and the police forces and stuff like that. And you're gonna have aspects of that still going on. But like I said, they're gonna turn on each other, man. People are gonna turn on each other. Okay. Yep. Because things change when you're hungry, man. You know, like that Snickers advert, man. You're not yourself when you're hungry. All right. You're gonna find you're a hold of the spirit, man. You know, you're prepared to do shit you didn't think you'd ever do. You know.
For the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and a sword in their hands.
So it just means killing instruments, man. You know, instruments of death. There have to be swords, you know, knives, guns, whatever, man.
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
Right, so sedition's already kind of started in some places, right? You know, they're rising up against their governments. Okay, we're seeing this. And like you say, it's something that's happening globally. It's not just happening in one place. Or these things are going to affect the world because the world are feeling the same type of problems. They're going through the same type of problems, man. So there's injustice everywhere. Right? There's lack of everywhere. Right? Before you might think, oh, that's just something that happens in these foreign nations. Maybe you can't find food or can't afford food or whatever, man. The price is sky high of oil. It's happening here too. You know, it's happening in America too. You know, albeit not as extreme as some of these other places, man, but it's getting there. It's just a matter of time. These prices are creeping up, man, and in order to come back down a little bit, man, they don't come down that far. So that just means when it goes up again, it ain't going to come back down that much. It's going to keep going up. And to the point where you can't afford it because they don't want to pay you any more money to survive. They're telling you, man, if we keep paying you more money, then, you know, inflation is going to keep rising. They're going to blame you for the fucking inflation. They ain't going to blame these fucking, these big boys on billions of pounds of bonuses and shit. They're going to blame you for asking for more money because you can't afford to fucking fill your fridge. So don't ask for a pay rise, bro, because you're gonna fuck up inflation and you're gonna make it hard for everybody. You can't ask for more, but these dickheads, they can get billions in bonuses. Esau's taking the piss, man. You know, he's taking the piss. You know, but they're already setting up that situation where things are just gonna get out of control. They can't deal with the inflation. They can't deal with the fact that your lack of money. You can't deal with the fact that there's a recession. They can't deal with it. So chaos is going to issue. You know, especially when the economy crashes and all that shit.
They're gonna come with a solution.
Yep.
It's gonna be much
And it's gonna be it's gonna sound good to you, man, because you're gonna want to enter the pain, the problem. Right, so it's gonna sound good to the majority of people, man. But again, it's just a deception that you saw is in planning. You know.
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, no princes.
So they're gonna have no respect for the authorities, man. Right, they're gonna be roaming from house to house because they ain't getting what they need from you, for the government, whatever. They don't want to accept the terms and conditions, right? Because they always say small print, right? In terms and conditions, most people don't do that, right? And most people ain't gonna do it now. We've already read the terms and conditions. It's like we don't fucking want that. You know, we don't want that C hit, man. You keep that shit. You know, so you have those that don't want to do it. So they're gonna go house to house, or they're gonna prep, or they're gonna do whatever the fuck they're gonna do. But they're gonna be violent, man. Right? And it might not even be their intention necessarily, but they will kill you if they need to. You know, they might come in your house late at night, try and come and steal what you got, hoping no one's up. But then, you know, you make a lot of noise, isn't it? Fuck it, someone comes in the base with bats, guns, or whatever, and you got to defend yourself, man. Someone's got to die.
It's gonna be oops.
Yeah, someone's going to die, and they're not going to give a shit. You know, because they don't care about police, because, you know, police are already fucked anyway. They got lack of staff and whatever. You know what I mean? They can't come to every problem, maybe, because it's going to be crazy. Everyone's going to have an issue, man. Police ain't going to come out to you. Ain't no one going to pick up the phone when you're ringing them.
Police themselves, they're gonna be trying to survive.
Yeah, they're gonna be on the streets fucking fighting the dissenters, man. People in sedition, they're gonna be fighting everyone. They ain't got time to spare for you and your problems. And that's why they be in America. They had those prisoners that can go out on bail or something like that until the court case or some shit. Like there's no incarceration for them, or even for those with more major crime like murder and shit. You know, they're allowed to walk out until the court day. You know what I'm saying? That's dangerous, man. But they ain't got the system to uphold them no more because it's been diminished. It's been attacked, you know? And all that's going to be left is those hardcore police officers, man, that are ready to kill you, fucking Jake, man. And kill anybody that stands there, you know? That's what's going to be left there because the most people ain't got a heart to stand there in front of those protests, man. They're going to want to quit their job and shit. You know? So you're going to have the more guys out there that are really left, man.
Eventually, they're gonna bring the professional killers, which the army, man.
Yeah, the mercenaries and shit.
Which you never seen before, you know.
And that's why they militarize the police, man. They don't have simple ammunitions, man. They've got all kinds of munitions at their disposal if they want to use them. You know, because it's for a future time. It's for civil unrest, not for the odd protests, but civil unrest, like nationally. You know, globally, they got them things ready there for law and order, martial law. That's why it's there. You know, so they're gonna have their hands full, man. They ain't gonna be worried about what's happening in the cities, people breaking burglaries. They ain't gonna be coming for that, man. You're gonna have to deal with that yourself.
Yeah, I believe they're gonna leave some of the cities alone.
Yeah, they're not gonna come.
It's
not worth fighting over.
They're gonna defend only a few cities which are.
Yeah, because it's impossible to fight for everywhere. You know what I mean? You can't fight like that. You still have the manpower for that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you're going to be dealing with that shit your own, man. So you better be tooled up. You know? You better have something to protect yourself with and whatever, because people are going to come through.
I told you before they come. The guys, I mean, in France, there are some people now that are defending their shops because, never show them support. So they use bats and sticks to sway those rioters away, man. You know?
As I say, people are going to die. Blood is going to be shed, bodies are going to be laying in the streets, and people are not going to come to collect them, man. Like when we talk about the time of evil, the time of judgment, right? It's Daniel 7:1, time like no other. It's very real what we're speaking about, but this place hasn't experienced nothing like this before. None of these places have, man. It's going to get real crazy out here. And again, people don't want to think about these types of things. They like living in their own little bubble. But when they have to deal with it, man, it's a very surreal situation to be in, man. Very surreal, man. And these women ain't gonna know what the fuck to do. Right? They're gonna be looking for some man to help them. You know, but you piss off a bunch of men, so I don't know where you're gonna get the help from, man. It might be good for a pop, and that's the way about it. You know, promise in the box, he might protect you. But like, you piss a lot of guys off, man. So they might just say, yeah, fend for yourself. Help yourself, innit?
Yeah.
Independent woman, help yourself. You see how far you get. But yeah, automatically, women will pick men to defend them.
Back to their natural order, man. That's how it's gonna be.
Because the world's a violent place, man. The world began as a violent place. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm reading the scriptures, I'm being reminded of this, man. The early stages of time, it's always been a violent place. It's not safe. Because of the events that have taken place in the past. It's not a real safe place for people, really. You know? And it's going to go back like that for at least for a while. You know? Until new order is set up. Because safety comes with order. But when there's disorder, when there's chaos, man, it's unsafe. Everywhere is unsafe. Even for men, it's unsafe. But men are just, a bit better to deal with certain situations than women. Women can't deal with these types of situations. That's why they stay at home. You know what I'm saying? You know, in the defended walls, in the house. You know what I mean? Men out there doing the dangerous shit. You know? But that's what it's going to be like, man. A very stark contrast to how people live their lives today. You know? And people are not prepared for that. You know? And if it weren't for the Lord, we wouldn't be prepared for it either. Because what can we do to prepare? Again, how can you prepare for a situation like that? You can't. It has to be for the Lord that you even survive, man. So that's what we have to rely on in those times.
So GMS is very important.
Yep.
As goes on, he said, well, for there shall be a sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, nor princes, and the cause of their action shall stand in their power.
As if people want to take action into their own hands, they're going to do what they see fit. Like I said, people want to be feeling desperate, man, so they're going to do whatever they feel like doing. And it's like a lot of, like, you mentioned the movies again, like The Road and stuff like that. You're going to have Purge. Yeah, Purge. You're going to have guys just on some crazy shit, man. You know, looking to eat people. You know what I mean? Just driving a bunch of them and grab you up, grab your woman up, rape your woman, child, whatever, man. Eat you up. Whatever it is that comes in their mind to do, they'll be able to do it. Because ain't no one going to stop them. That's it.
And the lawless society.
That's right. So they have the power to do what they want to do, man, as long as they have the power to do so. You know, because you can't defend, like, you know, you got fucking 6 guys come up and you know, with weapons and shit, man. You're not going to survive, bro, innit? Just, you know, that's the Lord's work with you. You ain't really going to survive that situation, man. You know, and so they have the power. It's going to be like Mad Max, some mad time, you know?
A man shall desire to go into a seat and shall not be able, for because of their pride the seat shall be troubled.
So it's going to be lockdowns, like we've heard of lockdowns in the past before, and you know how they were implementing and that, and you know, again with the smart cities and stuff like that, they have better monitoring abilities and stuff like that. You can't move freely if they're able to implement that in time, right? Everything around the cities is built around like or built inside an orbital, like roads and stuff like that. You got the A406, M25, all circles London, right? So it's easier to manage everything inside that region, mate. All you got to do is got certain exits and that you can't really travel by car anywhere, by vehicle. You know, there's only so many exit points, right? So everybody's kind of locked in there. So you can't just go to Birmingham if that's where you want to go. You can't just go there. There'll be blockades and shit. All right. So you can't just freely go in and out like you want to. You know?
I believe, I mean, there's some towns here in London as well. They have those blockages as well. You can't, I mean, before you have to, I mean, it was easy maybe to go, I mean, it take maybe 10 minutes to go to another side of the seat, but now it may take maybe half an hour.
Well, this is it.
You have to go around it.
Yeah, the Easter does some mad stuff at the road sometimes, man. You know, he set up the you know, the road works and things like that. He'll cut off, he'll change the dynamics of the roads. Now it's one way. Now you can't go here. Now it's one lane. He's fucking shit, man. And you trying to think like, why has he done that? It doesn't really make any sense. He'll tell you it's to manage traffic better. Well, it's just to lock you in, man. It's to lock you in like rats. You know, because there's some pathways than you know, around where I'm at, and there's no need for you to cut that road off. He just wants to make it awkward for you to move. You know, if you wanna cut you off, he can. You know, he gains a real advantage from a traffic standpoint, managing traffic standpoint. Yes, inside, yeah. From a traffic management standpoint, there's no real benefit to it. In fact, it's probably making shit worse. But on a military level, for him to do certain maneuvers, it makes more sense. Because you say you're restricting your movements, man. I get frustrated with that shit, man. Like, I got to go around. I can't just go through. It's like, why? You know?
I believe they put them in this camera as well.
Cameras to make sure, yeah. And I'm just like, bro, and then you don't know, you find out a week later that you got a fucking fine for £90, £120, £130, what the fuck it is, man. You know? Just vexing man's spirit because you want to do some bullshit, man. You know?
I was going to say, a man shall desire to go into a seat and shall not be able. A man shall desire to go into a seat and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the seat shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
I feel like I'm not the most up to date on the French because I'll be going on Twitter. I don't know if I got the full sketch, but it seems that it's escalating in its severity. And I've heard, like I said, it's just what I'm getting off Twitter, that there's a racial element in these riots as well. Because there's a lot of reason for people to be discontent. You have the racial issue in Europe, you know, the so-called immigrants, the Europeans versus the immigrants, and that's all being fueled by the economic desolation of the working, the middle classes. People get uncomfortable. See, when people got money in their pocket, they can live in nice areas. You could do what you want. You ain't really give a damn about no immigrants. The problem of immigration has always been a problem for the working poor, because they always ready to be angry about something. Oh, there's a Pakistani over there, you know, you're taking my job, bro. If you're middle class, if you got money, you're not worried about some Pakistani coming in and working in a shell garage, because you got a good job, you got money, probably working for you. Exactly, it's good for you. You're hiring them in your business. And the funny thing is that actually goes back to Rome. When you go back to ancient Rome and you go back to the social commentators, there was a big problem in Rome because there were too many slaves, and the slaves replaced the average Roman as a workforce. And that's why they ended up having to have the welfare state, the bread and circuses, because what happens in that situation is the patricians were making all the money. They owned the land. They owned most of the businesses. They were using slave labor. So what did the average Roman do? Nothing. They couldn't find a job. So that's why they had to end up giving them what, bread and circuses. And even that doesn't work. In the end, the system has to collapse.
It's just distractions, isn't it?
Because the life's not designed for like the majority of the population to be like out of work and down bad. This is just not.
He's always creating a safe situation with the AI and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's basically what he's done through industrialization. That was the beginning of it, and now you have AI. They're replacing the human workforce and not having what's it called, an alternative. And then now with the economic destruction that's happening with these interest rates, the middle class, you know, them guys that just jumped on the housing market they're getting dealt with the worst way. They're getting dealt with no loo. So now you're gonna have the middle class people out there rioting, not just the working class who are under now the middle class are under the cush.
Yep.
Middle class jobs are on the line. So all that is causing what tension, because it goes back to the Maslow hierarchy of needs. When a man's ain't feeling secure, when you can't, there's certain things that makes a man less angry. when you've got money in your account that you can pretty much do what you want to do to a level. Obviously, not everyone's gonna be Ferrari in it, but you could buy your kids ice cream. You could take your woman out on a Friday night, right? You can have all your bills paid. You're getting that dome. You don't give a damn. You don't care about.
You're content with that.
You're content, but when you start, bills are piling up, man. Like, you can't do this, you can't do that. Then you start getting angry. You start getting unsettled.
Can't heat your house.
You can't heat your house. Now you're looking for someone to blame.
Yep.
Oh, it's this person, it's that person.
Yep.
Discontent. So that's what we're seeing happening. And it's not gonna just be in France. It's gonna be in the UK. It's gonna be in America. It's gonna spread. Like it's a mental thing. So it will spread. When people, is that what that man are on over there? Then it will spread. So this is only the beginning of it. Read that again. And it's gonna get worse because the economic situation ain't getting no better. They're putting up the interest rates more and more.
Well,
more banks are gonna collapse.
They keep saying they have to trigger a recession. That don't mean that ain't good news for nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying? But they make it sound like that's the only option. But they're fucked, didn't they? They're between a rock and a hard place. No matter what they do now, the poor is get fucked.
It's worse than that. It's not even that. They could do something. They don't want to do nothing. It's worse. That's the worst case scenario, and that's what everyone is gonna have to wake up for. The apostles and elders told you that this man is the devil. It's not that they're stupid.
No.
Don't ever think here that Esau does not know what he's doing when it comes to economics. These dudes have got economics down to a T. They know, they understand
relationships.
Like, exactly. Yeah. Here it is. When I was in my assessment the other day. The guy that is my assessor is breaking down the housing market to me, breaking it down, and he's like, how do they not know this? Well, the question you got to ask is, how could you be an assessor in some mid-level company, and you know the consequences of a particular economic activity or action? You think them man don't know?
Of course they do.
Of course they know.
They went to the procedure schools to learn all this shit, man.
It's done on purpose. They know exactly what they're doing because they want the turmoil.
And they make it seem like it's out of their control kind of thing, and we just have to kind of ride it.
So they can take control.
Exactly.
They'll read that again. And so that you're seeing that happening in France, man. And they're gonna people always want to blame people that don't look like them. So all that race war is gonna be even more. And it's gonna be tit for tat. This man busts up this person. Country. And then once you bust up some youth from that side, now everyone's like, "Rah, they did that," and then that's how it always is, tit for tat. It just takes someone's grandmother to get murked off, or someone even say it happened and it never happened, and all of a sudden it's peak. That's what happened in Birmingham. Some granny got hit, race riots, man. Then next thing you know, and popping off straps, all that. The elder Ramah tell you about that. Read that again.
This second Ezra 15 and 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled.
Right, the cities right now, over there in France, you got cities that nice cosmopolitan cities where a city thrives on its general safety. A city thrives on being able to go to and fro without impediment. Like you're talking about the roads and that. But that pretty much that's how a city thrives. Being able to go from A to B, no problem. You could go do business. You could go to that cafe, and pretty much to the most part, that's how most cities are. Like, if we wanted to go down central London now, it's low risk. It's low risk. You know, obviously, if you got an AP, then you know you got a couple of heavies with you, man, because these niggas are searching for them APs. But generally speaking, right now it's Saturday. The trains are just moving. People are coming in from Essex. People are coming into Victoria Station from wherever the motherfuckers live south of London, whatever's down there. So, yeah. Right? People are coming in even from Wales. The transport links are there. They're coming into central London with their families, with their children, little toddlers climbing all over the seats. Oh, we're going to go to the South Bank. We're going to go this. We're going to do that. Right? Because there's that general safety and convenience that comes with these modern day cities, man. And they got things that you can go to, like activities to do. Oh, take restaurants and pubs and bars and all these different things, right? And so they're proud. Oh, my city's great. Oh, my city. Oh, yeah, we putting it on and all this. Once you start having what's happening in France now, it mars all of that because now there's burning cars over there. It's dangerous. The risk level's going up. You can't go ahead. Now they said the public transport, they shut it down. I'm sure they shut down the public. You know how far? Imagine if they did that in London. They shut down the public transport. What? In a modern day city, no public transport? That's the heart of the city right there. That means certain nurses ain't getting to work. That means, boy, because of their pride, the cities are gonna be troubled. Yeah. Let me see if I can find that information. Going up.
The houses shall be destroyed.
That's the next part. You see, the anger and the discontent eventually builds up. Now disclaimer, we know you got agent provocateurs, but remember the agent provocateurs can be it can be a spark, just like in a forest fire. You can detonate a forest. You don't have to flamethrower the whole forest. You just dash a little spark in the right places and it will feed on itself. So the same thing goes for these riots. Esau can put a little spark here, but because the people actually have this discontent and anger in them, they want to express that anger. So next thing you know, they start burning down shops and
they start following suit. They carry it on. The momentum increases. You know, and now it becomes a big issue now. You know, they're destroying them shops. You know, so the guys
like buses, they shops. Stealing buses, burning them on fire. Who's replacing them buses? They already got a supply chain.
Well, supply chain, a money issue. They got the money for shit.
Look at this. France stops public transport and deploys 40,000 officers. They ain't gonna give a fuck about these officers. Ain't shooting until they start shooting them. Man, what are they gonna do? Right? 40,000 officers amid fears of third night of rioting. Buildings and vehicles were set on fire as thousands took to the street after videos emerged of a teenager identified only by his first name in the hell. So this is a race riot, like I said, because some youth got clapped or whatever, who was shot during a traffic stop on Tuesday in the Parisian suburb of Nanterre. Now, for it to inflame like this, there's underlying discontent. And it's only going to get worse, man.
The houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
And that's what's going to end up happening. Like, things are going to get so difficult or hard in society. People are going to disconnect. All that community stuff's going to go out the window, man. And you're going to see the true nature of these people because they don't have brotherly love. Let me tell you something about love. Let me tell you something about real brotherly love. Real brotherly love don't have no circumstance where it fails. You understand what I'm saying, brother? There's a thing here where love is easy, yeah? It's easy to love when it's easy. It's easy to be kind when it's easy. It's easy to be charitable when it's easy.
It's the same as a friend cannot be known in prosperity, man.
Beautiful.
Only in adversity.
A friend can only be known in adversity. When it's all good times and everything's blessed, yeah, that doesn't prove a person. So you see all these people acting civil. A lot of them are acting civil because they got no reason to not be civil.
They've been put under the stress test.
They're not under no stress. You're really gonna find out the truth about someone in two ways: when you either give them power or you give them stress, difficulty. Then you find out the reality, and the reality you can find out is that all these humanitarians that's walking around out here talking about how these fake people, they're fake. These virtue signalers talking about how they love humanity and love mankind. Yeah, as soon as it gets to the point where they're struggling to eat or they're struggling for security, they're gonna get busy on their neighbors. They're gonna get busy on their neighbors, man. And a lot of it is gonna fall between racial lines because that's just only natural. It's only natural. This idea of this melting pot, yeah, is bullshit, really. People naturally are inclined to their own, man. It's a place of safety for people. Case in point, go into any cinema. Anytime I go to the cinema, I know you've experienced this. You go into the cinema, right? and you know the lights are on, so you can see everyone. And what I'll do, yeah, is I'll normally like get in there early, because that's just my spirit, man. I'm one of them dickheads, innit? Some man get there on time, or like I like to get there early and have to sit through all the shit. I don't know. I'm an early type of person. I don't like getting places too late, right? But my experiment is I come and I sit in a position and I watch where everybody chooses to sit when they come in. And without fail, you see another black couple that will come in. They ain't sitting over there. They'll come and sit there, like within the vicinity, innit? Crackers come and you sit there, and then you might get Elam come, and Elam might sit there, or Elam might sit near you. Yeah? You see another black couple come. They're looking. They sit there, like, and then eventually what you're gonna see is like this. It's like they're all in a section, basically. At work, it's like that. When I used to be at every workplace I've had, there'd be a table for Jake, the Niger man, the Ghana man, the West Indian man are all on the same table. The Elam man are on their table, and Esau's on their table. No one, that's just how it ended up being. Because it's a natural thing. Man are gonna want to par with their own. Man, you can't help that. Familiar. So it's gonna go back to that. When pressure comes, that forces certain people to come together too, and come against you. See you as a threat. It's been the way of the world, and that ain't gonna change when these cities go belly up. So all this, we are the world and we're all Londoners and we're all together, that's gonna go out the window. Go on.
Let's go Isaiah 13:14. And it shall be at the chest low, and as a sheep that no man takes up.
Yeah, and that's gonna be like these Edomites, because ultimately, like, among all nations of people, the Edomite ain't got no friends.
So greatly despised.
The Edomite is despised by all people because they've systematically violated all people on the face of the planet Earth. They don't have no friends. They don't have no allies. They don't have no one that's neutral. The man is not even in a neutral position. Cause I could run through the list. Let's run through the list. Okay. We can break it down to just smaller and smaller groups. It still works. But let's just keep it like a biblical list. Moab. They don't rate Esau. That goes without saying. Ammon. They don't rate Esau either. What did the man drop bombs on them? Man drop nukes on them. Ishmael don't rate Esau. Ishmael don't rate Esau no way. The different Hamitic nations, they don't rate Esau. The Somali man, them, the Ethiopian man, them, all them different man, they don't rate Esau at all in any way. Japhet don't rate Esau. Esau went over to Japhet's land and violated them. We could run down the list. It'll be the same. Oh, the bloody bastards, they come to my country. Everyone's got the same story. There's no one where Esau interacted with them and they're like, oh yeah, he's all right. No, so they ain't gonna really have nowhere to go. See these everyday Edomites, man, they're gonna be chased around. Cause they buck up in Elam zone, they're gonna have a problem. They run into the next zone, they're running into Jake zone. They got another problem. You know what I'm saying? Buck out of Jake zone, they might run into some Somali man. Them man give them the Rambo treatment. Well, might need to stay out of certain areas. They ain't gonna have nowhere to be, nowhere to run.
Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
And especially the English Edomite and the American Edomite are greatly despised. The French Edomite, all them and it's true. This is just the reality of it, yeah. That all them immigrants that's in France hate France. All them immigrants that come and this is the mad thing, from Morocco, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, they hate France. They're only there because they want to get them francs. Yep. Because their countries are fucked and they speak French. So they come to France, they go to Belgium, but they hate the Edomites there. This is true. They waiting to put hands on somebody, man. And everybody knows, man. You only got to be on TikTok and YouTube for long enough, and you gonna get woke, innit? You're gonna know all the bullshit that Esau be doing, man. Everyone knows. Like us, when I speak to man from Ivory Coast and that, they be like, "Yeah, France is wicked. They've been doing this and that to us for years. They've been running the franc." Everybody knows. They talk about. That's what they're talking about in the barber shop.
It's just about the shame being seen, man. Everyone knows.
They're exposed. The man of sin being revealed. Everyone knows all their dirty tricks, man. Even the ruffians know. They talking about it while they're smoking, rolling up their weed. Yeah, man. You know.
Can I get that one?
Go on.
So Isaiah 14:5 says, "The God had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth."
None hindereth, because this man has done nothing but violate the peoples of the earth, man. So in terms of race war, Esau ain't got no friends anyway. So them any average everyday Edomite that gets caught out in the wrong zone, there's not gonna be no mercy for him.
And like I say, he's small, right? Because the nations are more than he is. You know, there's more of the other nation than it is of him. You know, and like I say, he's had us over here to work and that, so there's bare of us around here. You know,
Yeah,
Eastern's always complaining about how they're gonna take over.
Yeah, that's like London. London is, like, if you think about what London is, man, there's a lot of ethnics in London, man. Like where I had to go today, I'm like, yo, this place is ghetto as fuck. And then I'm seeing like you seeing like fucking Somalian. You walk down this is pure Somalian man chilling outside here. Then you go there, bare West Indian man. Then you go there, bare Brazilians. I'm like, you where the crackers at, man? Listen, man, this place is ethnic as fuck. That's why them Edomites be crying, man. Places like Bradford, you know, Bradistan they call it. Yeah.
Was it? The book of Habakkuk 2 and 7:4 says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith, by his faith."
Right, the just is the Israelites, the elect. Go on.
Yeah. Also, because he transgressed by one, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell.
The reason why you got all these immigrants in France, all over Paris and all the suburbs surrounding Paris and all them places, that's why they got a badass football team. Because they were like, yo, we can't win no games, man. Like, France weren't nobody. They just losing world wars, getting bullied up by the Germans, getting bailed out by next man. France are just, I don't think France has won a war, a legit war in a long time. They get laughed at in Europe, yeah. It's peak for France. So these guys are like, yo, we need to win something. So they were like, boy, we got all these West Indians and these Jake from West Africa and all over North Africa, all up in the burbs. We're gonna take them, put them in special academies, and that's how you get the team of France '98. And it was so bad that they didn't even know what to do when they won France '98, because they were like, raw, Africa won the World Cup. Go look at, bro, Desiree, Thuram, fucking, bro, the list is strong. Zizzy, look at the name, Zinedine, man, has to be a Jake with a name like that. Zinedine Zidane, yeah, what? Thierry Henry is, I don't know which way it is, but his parents are respectively from Martinique and Guadeloupe. Real bad man, yeah. The whole team, why? And that's carried on to this day. Look at the France team to this day. It's all Jake and from all different areas of the world that the French went out to and conquer and oppress. And these people stream across out of Africa to this day to get to France, because the countries they're living in are fucked. All them old French colonies, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, they're fucked. And they're fucked because France is still fucking them. It's a direct result of the fact that neither keepeth at home. And that proud spirit, because they have that spirit of what's yours is mine. It's in the air. They got that proud spirit, that covetous, what's that you in that latest fucking film? You know the one that put his finger in the pie. What is it? Puss in Boots, man. The latest Puss in Boots. You got the Jack something, Jack something here. But basically, he just wants all the power. You know what I mean? That's Esau. You're just covetous, man. The Bible says that there's nothing worse than a covetous man. Esau's spirit is he don't want to see you having nothing. Hence, he said, "What? You will own nothing and be happy." Because them Edomites, they just want to take. Micah, can we get Micah 2:1? That's been the spirit of the so-called white man from the very beginning. He isn't trying to make negotiate and have some kind of mutual benefit. Esau don't like mutual benefit. Esau likes when he makes 99% and he's thinking, "Rah, but I even got to give this man 1%. I ain't even give it to him. I'll take 101%. You know what that means? I'm taking the 100% and then you still owe me 1%. That's how Esau thinks in his mind. Just look at the music industry. My man, they got people earning like pennies on the dollar.
They own all the masters.
They own because Esau don't believe in you owning anything. If they can get away with just whatever, just taking everything you have and totally oppressing you, that is the way they will do it. When even the Most High don't operate like that. These men are on a different level. When you go and you break down the taxes, man, that this man is putting on people, it's damn near 100 and something % tax because you pay tax on money that you already been taxed on. When you really look at how the taxation works, the money is getting taxed like 100 times. You get money you've been taxed on, you give it to your son, and the son gets taxed. So you're getting taxed twice. You're getting taxed on your money, you get the money, and then you go buy a product, and the product's got tax on it.
It's the same as when you buy a house, you get taxed, and you sell the house, you get taxed as well.
Esau's taxation is way over and beyond. 20% taxation, okay, reasonable. The real taxation with all the stealth taxes is closer to about 80 to 90%. I'll damn near say is with inflation added into that. It's like 100 and something % tax, man. You're in deficit, man.
Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands.
So these guys had a change of heart. That's what they want the world to believe, that the so-called white man, he's all fair and they want to reduce poverty. Go research France. France still controls the currencies of all the old colonies. So those people don't control their own money. And that's what's bolstering the French economy, even though the French economy is going down, which shows you what? Even though they're stealing from France, the elites then are stealing from, even though France is stealing from their ex-colonies, right? To prop itself up. It's so wicked that the elite of France are then stealing from everyone else in France. It's like a huge parasite with a parasite on there. Because even though they're violating all these countries, and how is France in the situation it's in? It's because their own elites, which is what happened in Rome. The patricians, they're blood sucking. They're sucking the parasite. They're the parasite of the parasite. It's mad.
That's the thing, and even though that's happened, they're still blaming the people.
And they'll blame it, and then
because they had the bankers, they had the cheat to say, "Oh, don't ask for a pay rise," but you're on the fucking breadline. But the CEOs get bonuses, but we need to keep them because they're talents and whatever.
It's all by design, man. It's all by design. They were bringing out the other day the electric companies and the bonuses they were making and all that. Yeah, but what are they doing about it? Nothing, because it's all by design. They want to crush. It's a vampire octopus. It's all about constricting and sucking the people dry.
I'm going to mention again about the Thames Water because they go belly under, right?
Yep.
Why? Why did they go belly under? Because they were taking so much money out. Exactly.
And they were piling up the debt, and then now the government's going to have to come and take control. But how are they going to do that? By borrowing money, which who has to pay for that? People. The taxes. But it's the whole game is just rigged to just violate the people.
some assholes gonna get rich.
Yeah, these super elites, man. That's why they're the 1%. The 1% is really what's doing it out there, because you could be the top 10%, 9% of the 10% ain't really doing nothing. Or if you're on
Well,
100K, if you're on 200K, that's nothing. But if you're on 100K, you're meant to be in the top 10%. But 100K is nothing. It's bullshit. So that shows you how much the top 1% are really doing. Yeah. Go on, read that again. Read that out. Hey, Esau, man, from the very beginning, if he got any resources, he's looking to benefit from that completely, which is unrighteous, man. Because it's an imbalance. It's parasitic in its nature, and the worst kind of parasite, the parasite that kills its host. There has to be some kind of give and take, man, and that's how you make things sustainable and flourish, man. Because even when we're in the kingdom, we're not gonna take 80% from the heathens, man. That's dumb. You're just gonna grind them down into nothing, and then what are you gonna have? You make them strong, you keep them fruitful, and that 20% gonna keep coming. And they happy, they good, they're content, and you're good. But Esau will be like, nah, take the 99, innit? Take the, you know?
And Esau's always been like this. I remember watching series, I think it was Rome or something like that, right? And they were going out to these tribal places, you know. They had on the tribute, right? And every time they would come, the tribute went up. And man's like, I ain't got nothing else to spare you. I don't know. I need to feed my people. And like, yeah, give a shit.
Make it happen.
You know, and man's threatening death on good people for not paying. Like, what the fuck, man? And Esau don't give a shit, man. Esau still don't give a shit. He will take as much as he wants to take, man.
Beast. He's not even a beast, because even the beasts know to not overindulge. Even the beast, the lion eats when he's hungry. That's what I was talking about in the thing. People think that lions just go around and kill him. No, most of the time, the lion belly full. You could walk past the lion. If you don't feel you're a threat, the lion ain't really gonna attack you. Because most animals of prey, the Lord got to put a spirit on them to really do you something. Most animals attack what they're used to. Just like you, when you go into, like, you're used to eating a particular food, and you go down the high street, you rarely will stray from what you normally eat. You know, animals are the same. Like sharks don't want to eat humans. They don't eat humans. They're not looking for humans. They buy. The more time when they buy a human, they just investigating. Yo, what's this? Yeah. Lions, when they're hungry, don't eat. That's why the lions' dens back in the day, they had to starve the lions for a while. Then they put you in the lions' den. If they put you in a lion's den with a bunch of lions, they just fed. The lion's just gonna look at you like.
Lions just trying to chill.
Lions like, yo, what the fuck? Unless you fuck around and do something which is threatening, then it's gonna have to fight. You know, but a lion with a full belly ain't a threat, because that's not the nature. Their nature isn't to just kill and not eat. So they're not gonna kill something and not eat it. It don't make no sense. You know who does do that? Esau. He will just consume. I don't even need it. I just need to have it all to myself. I can't stand it that this other person has anything. He's jealous, he's envious. You don't want anyone else to have an inheritance. Go on up.
And control himself too.
The Bible tells you, man, the Lord gave unto all nations their inheritances, and there's nothing wrong with that. When we came out of Egypt, we was to leave the inheritances of the nations alone. We were never that type of empire that would go out and try and take people's land.
You know, I was thinking about Silas from Heroes.
Yeah.
You had to find out. You had to find out how it was tactic. He got that itch, man. Can't help himself.
Well, it's here. It's transgressive by wine, man. That superiority complex. He looks at other men as not even men. They look at him as animals.
Yeah, don't deserve it nothing.
Not deserve, and his ideology is if he could do something to you, then it's justified. Do as thou wilt, meaning if he can fuck you over, then it's justified. Because he shouldn't be able to do it if it's not justified.
Micah again, 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed.
Oh, we got to mention, we got algorithm coming up, Lord willing, next week. I still got to do some homework because I'll be slipping and slacking. because I'm in the flesh, man. But the BIS, the Bank of International Enslavements, yeah, bro, they basically coming out and letting you know that recent document they came out with, the future for the future of the new monetary. They basically said, look, we're gonna tokenize everything. Everything is gonna be on connected ledgers. The financial system will be directly connected and programmable to everything. Everything is gonna be tokenized.
They're excited by the idea of this one.
And they're basically telling you this is the new monetary system. We're gonna program the money, so you can't do we'll control and we'll know what you're doing in real time. Yo, the MOTB system, they announced it. They said that, like, they literally just said this is the new monetary system. The Bank of International Enslavement. So there's an algo coming down the pipeline, Lord willing. That's how we know we're right here, because they just come out with it, man, straight up.
What's that new money, isn't it? Who's it said the new money?
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee, yeah, new money. That's not racist. Because you treat everyone equally as a slave.
And then London, which is the financial capital of the world, just passed the bill to make cryptocurrencies basically part of the financial network. They're regulated entities now. So they've basically, London's opened up the world to tokenization and the new form of money. They've legitimized it because they've passed the legislation. So when London does that, you already know, because London is the financial capital of the world. It begins in London, isn't it? London's ready. So
others gonna follow suit.
Yeah, the ECB and all that.
Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand.
Right, they run all these systems and these institutions. They run the public private infrastructure. They control it. Right, they control Google. They control Twitter. They control Elon Musk. Right, they control all these public and private entities that push everything forward. Simple. So it's in the power of their hand. They control the politicians. That's why the MOTB is going to happen, because they control the infrastructure. They can build the infrastructure. They have the money and the resources. Right? If they want it to happen, it happens. Oh, we're going to just tear down the 5G. I ain't seen one 5G. But 5G's here. Yeah, it's been here. The 5G is going to kill everyone. Everyone's still alive, though. They built it because the 5G wasn't about killing everyone. The 5G was about having a low latency, fast internet to drive their new prison, which needs that connection speed and low latency to have real-time settlements and real-time information. That's what the 5G network is really all about. It's not about fucking zapping people. That's dumb. They don't need to do that. They could have just zapped people. You know what I mean? People get distracted. What is it for? It's part of the mark of the beast system. It's the internet of information. Yeah, which links together the internet of things, internet of bodies. This is the MOTB. Going on.
And they covet food and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress man.
Yeah, they're coveting a lot of houses right now. The banks are gonna start taking. The banks are gonna own a lot of houses, and then interest rate. The interest rate hike, right? So the banks are gonna own these houses, right? Which is gonna happen, and then who's gonna own these banks? Because these banks are gonna collapse. So the government's gonna end up owning all these houses, man, that these people have. People are struggling. They're gonna be struggling to sell a lot of these houses. A lot of these houses are gonna be on top of that are gonna be claimed because they're owned by foreigners. Government's gonna take that. You're not gonna be allowed to own property in another part of the planet outside of your prison. Gonna take that. A lot of these houses in London, they're not owned from people from the UK. Some next China dons own it. Russians, they're just gonna take that, confiscate that, and they've already set the precedent for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they oppress man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
That's what Esau's doing, man. So that's what's causing this immigrant crisis. And the Moroccan guy, the Italian foreign minister, he exposed France. He said, "Yo, this immigrant crisis is your fault. You're the one oppressing all these countries in Africa, causing all these people to flee where they live to come up into Europe. This is you." France was like, "Oh shit, hey, yo, chill." You know what I mean? Because it's true. France is a real bastard in Africa still. Cause they, that's the only people they could bully.
Well, it's those three major nations on the planet that have colonized the world, which is the French, the Spanish, and the British. Because those languages are widely spoken in this region. There's no, not to my knowledge, right? There's not in like a colony of Italy that speak Italian, in Africa or anything like that. It's not to my knowledge, right? Because they're not one of those guys that did all that. It's France, Britain, and Greece and Spain, that was going around doing all of that. So they're responsible for a lot of this bullshit that's happening.
So that's why those were the three parts that came together to make America.
Yeah.
Because America was originally colonized by those three: the French, the Spanish, and the British, the English. Go on.
Actually, one more thing before. Just going into Esau's do as thou wilt, man, because he has the power to do so, right? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, "Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient grey hairs of the aged. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth." So Esau got no respect for anyone that's weaker than him. If he's got the ability to take from man, he will, because it's his right in his mind, because he's the power to do it. That's why he doesn't give a shit.
They have no humanity, man. They don't have no compassion. Just like I don't have no compassion on mosquitoes. It's true. When's the last time you swatted a mosquito and you cared about it, man? You just swat it, right? Or if you see someone swat a mosquito, you're like, "Hey, bro, what you doing?" Man, just swat the hell out of them, man. Flies, you kill flies like it's nothing. Yeah, that's how these elites look at other people. They look at you as nothing, man. And that's why Esau deserved what he's gonna get, man. Because he's gonna be dehumanized and exterminated from the earth. Go on.
This is the book of Habakkuk 2 and 5. Ye also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and he cannot be satisfied.
And that's like, this is why it's all the arrogance, man. And I did a video on it. It's arrogance, and the Lord, man, is beautiful because it's all built into the algorithm. Arrogance and pride is an algorithm. It's literally an algorithm. When you think about it, like the minute you plug that pride and that arrogance in, you are on the path to destruction. It's guaranteed, because that's what arrogance brings. Arrogance.
By 0.0, man, it's gonna end in that result.
It's gonna happen because once you have pride, you're gonna do shit and you're not gonna know when to stop. You're not gonna know when to stop. You're gonna keep going and keep going. That's why you have the story of Icarus. Icarus, he made the wings with the wax, and he started flying, and he was flying in it. And if he didn't have the arrogance, if he humbled himself and understood, right, these wings are made of wax. I know I'm flying, but there's a limit to how high I can fly with these things. The arrogance, I'm gonna fly it to the sun. And then what happened? That arrogance led to his downfall. That's why that story was made. That's always been the case. If you look through history, most kingdoms and empires that fell was because of the arrogance. They overextended themselves in a way that their arrogance wouldn't allow them to. Nah, that's too much. And we're seeing it now. Esau had a good thing going. His arrogance wants him to take more, but in taking more is going to lead to his own destruction. Like the MOTV. The MOTV is over the top. It's pure arrogance. It's on the dot. It's peak. And what you find is, as you reach peak arrogance, that's usually where you get your destruction. The arrogance goes, and once it gets to that peak of arrogance, where you think you're a god king and that's when you end up going down. And then it goes the other way. When you reach peak humility, that's when you get exalted. So if you look at the elect are being broken down, and then we're moving towards peak humility. And at the point of peak humility, where you humble yourself to the Most High and acknowledge the Most High as the true power, I need salvation, I need mercy. That's peak humility, exaltation, and salvation. Esau's going the other way. I don't need no God. Like, I am God. Peak perdition, man. It's true, and you can see it playing out before our eyes, man. The Bank of International Settlements, that document they writ is peak arrogance. It's like, we are going to tokenize everything. We are going to number and document everything in the world and put it on a computer and have AI and program it and control everything. Do you know how arrogant it is for a man to desire that type of control? That is extremely arrogant and proud, to want to control life in such a manner as if you're the Most High, to micromanage life itself. It's peak arrogance. You own nothing. Going on. Dude, boy, peak arrogance. But the Bible tells you before destruction, the heart of man is haughty. Peak haughtiness, bro. And they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to, like, yo, you're doing too much right now. Nah. I could do it. Then you end up in the history books. Go on.
So Ecclesiasticus 10 and 12. The beginning of pride is when one departs from Most High, and his heart is turned away from his maker.
Yeah, and you can see that. These men don't give a damn about anything to do with the Most High. They just want to do what they want to do. They think they are God. They're on a whole different level of madness, man.
For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that has it shall pour out abomination, and therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamity and overthrew them utterly.
They've gone beyond, like, just gays and lesbians. Like, it's just mad now. It's just, they've invented mad genders. It's too much. I went on the train the other day. I look up to the Specsavers advert, and it's two women kissing. I'm like, what was the need of this? To sell glasses, man. It's the arrogance, man. It's the arrogance, the pride. That's what they call it, right? The pride, the arrogance.
It was like you listen to that Yuval Harari dude, man.
Oh, the arrogance.
Yeah, it's just mad, isn't it?
Oozing. That was oozing, like, yeah, that's crazy. Yo, man, the stuff he's saying is like, yo, like,
yeah, it's off the Richter, man.
Bro, it's mad. Man's actually saying, oh yeah, God can't do nothing to us. Like, we got the technology. It's like, hey, yo. You know, if a man say that in your presence, he'll be like, yo, don't do that. Don't do that. You have to check man up, man, and throw him in the fire or something. Because now the Most High gonna have to show you something. You have to show you a thing now.
That shows you pride and arrogance.
But that's the algorithm. You build your arrogance up to the point where the Most High now.
And the man thing about it, he's supposed to be a small hat, right?
Yeah.
They don't give a shit, man. This is Esau, man. All of them are Edomites, man. They know that. You know,
Satan.
And they're just doing it wherever they can to defy the Lord, man.
That dude is Nosferatu. He looks like one too.
Yeah. Any OG to the Disney.
Is he?
I think so, bro.
No, probably. Why am I even asking?
No, I do think it's true.
Yeah, he would do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He just doing everything he can, man. He probably knew us to carry.
I know, man.
You know?
Yeah, go on.
So we go Psalms 12:1. Help, Lord, for the godly man seetheth, for the faithful fail from among the children of men. They speak vanity, every one with his neighbor, with flattering lips and with a double heart do they speak. The Lord shall cut off all flattering lips, and the tongue that speaketh proud things. Who have said with our tongue will we prevail our lips
Yeah,
our own?
and that's what that's what they're promoting to the world. What they have disconnected themselves from the word of the Most High. The doctrine of this kingdom isn't well, the doctrine of this kingdom is the wages of sin is not death. Like sinning is winning. That's the there's a way we could do what we want to do. Don't worry, just this surgery or this life extension. We don't worry about the Most High. We're gonna do what we want to do because we got the knowledge, wisdom, or understanding to make it work. That's their ideology they're pushing into the world. Don't do it the Most High's way. That's we don't need to do that. We could run a bypass. There ain't no bypass.
You're gonna freeze your brain.
Freeze your. Oh my God. Hey yo, these people are crazy, man. Doing too much arrogance. That's what I mean. We're gonna live forever with technology, brother. You don't even know how to live, and you want to live forever. What's wrong with you? How about you work out how to live, and then you can think about living forever? You don't even know how to live. You're dying. That's why you got to do all this bullshit. Go on now.
With our tongue we prepare our lips our own. Who is Lord over us?
Who is Lord over us? They don't want to recognize the Most High. So that's why the Lord is gonna have everything they've created, and He's making them do it too. But they think they're in control. They want to do a controlled demolition. That's the arrogance. The arrogance of man is always to believe that you're in control. That is the ultimate form of arrogance. The humility of man is to understand it's not in your control. That's why we say, Lord willing. Yeah. Because can we get the Nebuchadnezzar account when he had to eat up the grass in the book of Daniel? Because that's an example. Even Peter had to humble himself. Peter's like, nah, Lord, I'll never do that. The Lord had to show him, like, listen, brother, like, you ain't in control. You're not the one. You think you're in control, but really, we're not in control. And that's why you have to humble yourself. That's why you have to pray to the Most High. That's why you have to understand that it's the Lord that giveth and the Lord that taketh away. Even when you gain, you have to still humble yourself and be like, I've gained because the Lord has allowed me to gain. I've been blessed because the Lord has blessed me. I haven't blessed myself. You have to humble yourself, man. That's the key of humility to understand that, whoa, I'm not in control. The Lord put me in position right now. Because as easy as you have something, it's as easy as you couldn't have it. You could be an intelligent person. Who made you intelligent? Or you made yourself intelligent because you read some books. But there's another guy that read the same book, but he don't get it. Yeah. So what's the difference between you and him? I'll tell you what the difference is. The Most High. The Most High made it where you could get it and made him where he can't get it. He gave the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. When it comes to everything, talents, intelligence, children, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what it is. The Most High is the one that's saying you can have this, you cannot have that. You can do this, you cannot do this. You're going to be a great people, you're going to not be a great people. Israel, what we are because thus saith the Lord. And that's the key to humility. Esau trying to be in control. Only the Most High is in control. Yeah, cool. So we'll go
Ecclesiasticus 11:21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich.
That's right. You like fortune. That's what, like, to be fortunate. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, most people, like, and this is the problem, like, because yeah, you got to do things. Any man that's rich had to do something. You didn't need, you don't just, you know what I mean? And then you're rich. You have to do something. You have to do some kind of work. You have to build some kind of talent or something. But it's the Most High that set that whole thing up for you. Not only you of yourself, but moving parts around you. Time and chance happeneth to all men. You got that break. That guy gave you that contract. That guy did this, you know. Oh, you didn't break your leg that day. How many man, like, let's just look at athletes, yeah? There's man walking around right now that could have been a multi-billionaire athlete, had the talent. The Most High just, man got his leg broke up, and that was the end of his career. Next man didn't get that bad tackle, and his career is still there. But that's, you think it's, oh, me. No, it's the Most High, because he wanted this path for you. That's why you got to humble yourself. As great as you are, that's why the Bible says the more greater you are, the more humble yourself, because the more things you achieve and do, because you're doing it, you think it's you, you forget it's the Lord that put it in you and that gave you that power to do whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's victories or success. Right, right. you taking a piss, man. Yeah. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's gonna don't do that shit, man. Whatever it is that you're doing, man, it's easy for you as a man to be in within yourself. I did it, you know. I punched him up. I did this. I did that. And then you forget where you came from, like a little worm that ended up getting squirted out your mother's vagina, couldn't, you know? And the Lord took you all this way. When you're a king, you gotta remember the Most High put you in that king, in the king's seat. Yeah. And the Lord, just like that, could take you out of that seat. And that's what's happened through history. Man went in the seat, thought they would be there forever, forgot about the Most High, and the Most High took it away. Yep. Just as easy. Just like your mind, you could be a great intellect, and all of a sudden you got Alzheimer's, and now you're not a great intellect. Oh, more.
Well, look at the esteemed Stephen Hawking, right? He meant to be an intelligent guy, but he was fucked up. You know, he got fucked up, man. Most I've got some next disease on him.
Bro, Robin Williams as well. I think he had Alzheimer's. Yeah, that's one of the reasons he either got sacrificed or he killed himself, because he was losing his mind and he knew it. You know.
Yep.
Hey, it's the Most High, man.
So that's why it's important to stay humble, man. If it's not about you. You know?
Hey, even the elect, the Lord said, I have chosen you, you have not chosen me. So when you're not even in control, if you're of the elect or not, the Most High is in control. So if you're of the elect, you got to humble yourself, because you're only of the elect because the Most High chose you. Because just as easy, he could have been like, nah, you 2/3, and that's it. There's nothing you could have done about that. Yeah. You be bugged out like the rest of these clowns running around out here. That's the only difference between you and another Jake that don't get it. It's just the Most High wanted you to get it. Yeah, the election of the Most High.
Yeah,
but
no works.
But the proud man doesn't believe in the election of the Most High. They believe in their own election and their own self-determination.
Yep.
That you could do whatever you put your mind to, and I made it happen, and you know, all that bullshit. Go on.
Say no. I mean, the blessing of the Lord is in the rewards of the godly, and suddenly he makes his blessing flourish. Say not, what profit is there of my service, and what good things shall I have hereafter? Again, say not, I have enough and possess many things, and what evil shall I have hereafter? In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetful of affliction, and in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity.
The Lord can flip your script, man, any way He wants to, and this is the truth. The truth is, like, okay, yeah, this is how funny it is. If you want to be successful, you can actively try and be successful, right? And this is why with these guys, like these motivator dudes, yeah, I just dislike them, because the reality is that you can only there's certain things like thinking positive and that you got to be in it to win it, but thinking positive doesn't guarantee success. You understand what I'm saying? thinking positively doesn't guarantee anything. It's still up to the Most High whether your endeavor will be blessed.
Yep.
Just like taking herbs don't guarantee healing. Right? But one thing I do know is that when a man's successful, no man ain't ever wanted to fail or go back into obscurity on purpose. Am I right or am I wrong? When a man's top of the world, yeah, no man made the decision, says, you know what, man, I'm just gonna fuck my life up and I'm just gonna implode, yeah. But it happens, right? Whether they will it or not will it. Most High, man.
All kinds of things happen, man.
Shit just fucked up for you, man.
The Most High, give you onto a curse.
And there's nothing. Once that curse comes upon you, you can fight it with all the positivity and that you want. This is gonna be a bad day, man. You got to end up like Mussolini. Look at Gaddafi. These men were better than any of us. Gaddafi, man, he had running the country. Them man sodomized him in the street. I know he didn't want to do that. The man was there, you see, no homo, you know what I'm saying? He was all there. And you see man holding him up, some funky BO dudes, some brokies, hemming him up, man, like some low-level duns hemming him up on some cheap Ford pickup truck. Fucking, yeah, sodomizing the guy with a knife, man, you know? He didn't want that to happen. And if you'd have asked him if that would ever happen to him, he would have said, nah, you mad. I'm Gaddafi. That man can't do that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you crazy. It's always been like that though. That's why you have to humble yourself, because anything can happen to you if the Most High will it to happen. That's it. At any time. And it ain't no matter how you think, oh, I would just do this and that. Bro, everyone's got a plan in it. Everyone's got action plan. But greater men have fallen. That's why the Bible says mighty men have fallen. In battle. Mighty men have fallen in battle. Saul was a mighty man. He fell in battle. That's why they were like, raw, Saul. Mighty men have fallen in battle.
And it might not be to know mighty on the other side.
Bro, it could just be an arrow.
Like, that Achilles story, right? Arrow started making chook in the, and it was an end for him.
It happens, man. This is a bad night. Bad night, man. Bad day at the office, man.
Yeah, man. Shit
just where it happens in boxing as well. The man say, oh man, it's just
but it's the Most High's will.
It's the Most High, man.
That's it, man. You can't go beyond the Most High's will.
My legs went. Well, my man Wilder. My legs. Yeah, that's a primate. Oh, shit. Speak it, believe it, receive it. He was doing all that. Speak it, believe it, receive it, and then Fury went in there, man, said his legs were gone. But what happened to all that speak it, believe it, receive it, man? Speak it, believe it, receive it. You know, I'm the most feeling. And them brothers gonna get on me in the group now. I shouldn't really talk about Wilder, but you know what I'm saying, man? You know, he went out there and his legs were gone. Oh man, it must have been my armor. It must have been my mask. Somebody drugged my water. Man was coming up with a bag of excuses, and all of those things. Yeah, he in my head with a head. But even if those things were true, the Most High, Most High found a way.
For it is an eager things unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. The affliction of an hour maketh a man to forget treasure, and in his end his deed shall be discovered.
So that's it. Let's read about Nebuchadnezzar, because he was a great king, sitting up there, eating the dainties, you know what I'm saying? And he forgot, man. Like, hold on, the Most High had to let him know, like, wait, hold on, what, you think you conquered all these nations and I didn't give the green light? Like, listen, I'm telling you that you're gonna go down, like, and you're trying to be like, nah, because obviously you're gonna think that as a man, because you didn't see the hand of the Lord. So you, as far as you're concerned, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm a bad man, I'm a bad dude, yeah, that arrogance. So when Daniel was like, look, bro, like, yeah, you're gonna have it for now, but then you're gonna go down. I don't want to hear that. Like, what do you mean? Like, go down? Go down where? Pause. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, I can't tell when I'm about going down.
It's Daniel chapter 4. We'll read from verse 28. Okay. So all this came upon King Nebuchadnezzar. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house?
See there? I have built. Man's heart departed, man. He might have built it, but he didn't give the honor and the glory to the Most High.
Yep. So that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power.
There you go.
For the honor of my majesty.
There you go.
While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee. The Lord just told me straight.
So he was on peak pride, right? Yeah. He was on peak pride.
You know what? Fuck you, thank God.
You out of there, man.
It says, and they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as an oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will.
There you go. The Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, giveth it to whosoever he will. So yeah, you can try and look, because the Most High can be practical with it. So you can go and analyze, okay, that happened and this happened. Yeah. But ultimately, it was the Most High that orchestrated the algorithm for all that to happen. Yeah. And it could happen where you can't analyze it. You're like, right, like how it's going to happen now. You can analyze it all you want, but the Most High is going to make it happen where we're going to be ruling. Now, you can't analyze that.
Those darkened. They can't see what's coming, man. They don't understand what's coming. They got all the analytics in the case trying to predict this and predict. They can't predict this unless you already know about this.
The Most High got too many tools. Because
none of this logically leads to what this speaks about.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I'm saying? It doesn't logically.
We're not looking like we're in a position to be the next rulers of the earth according to the analytics of men. But the Most High is more powerful than your analytics, man. The Most High got the different algorithms you ain't never seen before. You know what I mean? Most High got codes. You know what I mean? So yeah, he was on that peak level of pride, and the Most High told him. Now the Most High could have made it where he got conquered and man tortured him and made him eat grass. Most High said, nah, we ain't even gonna do that. You're gonna actually willingly go eat that grass. Because the Most High put a spirit on him, showing you the Most High control all that. When you see people, like there's these programs and you see people eating rocks and fucking like eating feces and doing madness, yeah. The Most High has put a spirit on them because my man had a spirit. When you see these people, I'm a dragon and fucking
I'm a cat.
Yeah, I'm a cat. They got demons on them because that's what Nebuchadnezzar thought he was a cow. I started eating like, you know, he started grazing. The Most High put a perverse algorithm, a perverse spirit on him, man, and it just nothing he could do. Once the Most High put that programming, juice it into your mainframe, that's that, man. The virus, man. It took over, man. And you start eating it, you go mad. You start.
It's cold, man.
Yeah, it's cold and fucked up, man. Man was there. No one went forcing him. Man was there, namming off the thing. You probably try to give him a piece of meat. And
I was like, I like this. You know, after coming out of the palace, eating with delicacies and that, that's what you eat. You know what I'm saying? The food for the beast. I mean, he was enjoying it.
Hey, the Most High,
he had him out there for a while.
For 7 years. So that shows you the Most High control all that, even the mind. So when you see these people get bugged out and moving crazy, the Most High did that.
Someone had to come forward in his place, man, because obviously you weren't super shit. You know? They was looking like crazy.
You're crazy.
You were crazy. You know?
I went full vegan. Hey, go on, read on.
Yeah, so what was it? Read verse 32 again. So they shall drive you from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. It's your homies now. Okay. And they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whosoever he will. The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, sleeping outside and shit, right? Till his hairs were grown like eagles' feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. He turned feral.
Matted, man. Yeah, matted up and all that. Anyway, this to what end? To show that the Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men. So whatever you do, you have to always remember, like, Don't start smelling yourself too much, man. Give the glory. That's why the Bible said, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself. He was great, but he didn't more humble himself. He was like, yeah, like I already did all this. Once I dealt with the wicked stuff, he was done bad, man. And that's how it is. And Esau's gonna face the same torment because he's gonna be brought down. He's trying to be a god, and he's gonna be brought down to a base being in the earth. Because when we put him into captivity, he's gonna be below the beast, man. And they're gonna go from like, especially these elites, they're gonna go from like the peak of luxury to complete discomfort. Complete discomfort, man. No prestige, the lack of prestige and excellence.
Yep.
Stinking.
Living worse than some of the most poorest people on the earth, man.
Yeah, because our people are poor. I posted, I don't know if you saw the thing I posted in the group with that
Or the guy
that went there, and look at the condition that our people are living in Colombia. But they don't like to talk about that. All over South Central America. That's why a lot of them men are trying to make it up into America, and then even then to try and make it into America, they fall in victim to the cartels, and a lot of the women end up getting put into sex slavery. The children, a lot of the men them have to get forced into being drug mules, or might just get killed. You know, it's treacherous, but it's because they're living down there in the American on less than $1 a day, man. Extreme poverty in them favelas, man. That woman, their house was plastic, man. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High had it where that guy, now he could be a Jake, I don't know, it could be a Jake or Edomite, whatever it is. The Most High put the spirit on him to go there and bless them, man, because they needed some help. But that's our people are like that, man. All over the world, man. They down bad out here, man. They've been down bad for the longest, and Esau's been doing good. Them companies that got over there making money, and them Spaniards and all that, man. That's why we're the poor. That's an example right there, man. And them people were still compassionate to a stranger. Fed him and all that. Because our people can be compassionate, man, very compassionate. But the ghetto just fucked Jake up, man. Jake used to be like that. What you see Jake now in the ghetto, them heartless, demonic, ratchet creatures, Jake wasn't always that bad, man. That's something that's happened and through the media and all, and you know. Where I come from, poor people were good to each other, man. They weren't criminal minded. They weren't trying to kill and murder each other and steal from each other. You could leave your house open in Montserrat back in the day. When Montserrat people were poor, when I say poor, man are poor. But men weren't stealing from each other's houses. People would help each other out and give you. Now, hey, it's different, man. Because it's just the more demonic, more evil, more wicked. You know, that's what the Bible says.
Verse 34 says, and at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes unto heaven, and my understanding returned unto me. And
so return. So who took it away? The Most High giveth understanding and takes it away. You don't see it, but the reason you can understand the codes around you is the Most High is allowing you to understand the code. Like think of it. How does a child learn how to speak, man? When you think about speech, it's a mad thing, you know. Man just make it, it's just noises, like frequencies. It's just, that's what sound is, right? It's a random, not random, but it's frequencies of vibration, yeah? And now we're having a whole conversation that we understand words. Yeah. But how do you even understand the base word? Think about it. How do you understand words without words? Yeah. Them first set of words you learn is a madness. You're just tuning frequencies. Like, hold on, like, what's this guy talking about? Your dad's telling you, like,
means that.
Pick that up.
That sound means that.
Pick what? What the fuck are you guys talking about, man?
Man, it's not showing you that.
You pick up language, and all of a sudden you understand things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you can know something and you can repeat it. It doesn't mean you understand. It's all in the Most High. Yeah, it's in the Apocrypha, in the 6th plate. Understanding. I think it's a what? Yeah, it's yeah. 17, Ciroc 17.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, it's from Sirach 17, verse 5. Right? It says they received the use of
Oh, they received. You didn't, the attributes that you have, anyone has, it's an attribute you receive. You didn't give it to yourself. Before you were made on this earth and born into the earth, you didn't sit there and, like how you build a character in a game. Oh, yeah, okay, I want to have like, I want to be fast. I don't want to remember nothing. I don't want to be rich. Someone famous, like an actor. You know how when you're in a game, you can build your character, right? I want to be 6'10". Da, da, da. You didn't do none of that. You just got squirted out and were blind because you're born blind, basically. A baby is borderline blind. You don't get full eyesight until about 8 months or something like that. Was it 8 or 9 months? When you get a newborn baby, everyone's there. Oh, the baby can see me. The baby's seeing a blur. That's what he's seeing. Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Listen, I'm hungry. What's that? Titty? Whatever that is. Yeah. Yeah.
how did they know?
How did they know?
How did they know?
You came out ignorant as hell. You didn't know nothing. You came out like fucking stock, man. But the Most High, that's one that put the okay. I'm gonna put that in this. I'm gonna put that in there.
That instinct to just do that.
You know what I mean? Like we'll never forget that, man. You came out squirted out, half blind, didn't know shit. The Most High is the one that allowed you to know anything. That even gave you that body that you got.
So he gave them, they received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord. And in the 6th place,
5 operations of the Lord. Lord lent you that, man. That's why the Lord could take it away. The Lord could make you blind. Different types of blindness too.
Yeah,
got spiritual blindness as well. He make you blind. He could make you lame. He could make you dumb where you can't speak.
Can't hear.
You know what I mean?
Because in the 6th place, he imparted them understanding.
Right, to be able to understand things, man. To be able to put 2 and 2 together. To work the mathematics, man. It's the Most High that give you that intellect to be able to do that. And some people are better at it than others, man. And then you look at this guy like, why can't he fucking get it, man? You know what I mean? Like, and it's frustrating sometimes. You try to show someone something. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? Like trying to teach a kid math sometimes, yeah. And what the fuck? It's easy. Yeah? Because some people take things easier than others. Yeah. But it's because the Most High is giving it to you easier. And some man would never get it. Some man just sit there and break down quantum physics like it's nothing. And there's certain man that you could sit them there in front of that quantum physics for the next 50 years and they will never make any sense of what's going on. Because it's not given onto them.
Joe down the path.
Yeah. Joe don't know shit, man. Joe's given up. Because not everyone can do everything. And that's a lie they tell you. You can do everything. No, not everyone could do everything. Some things is not given to certain people, man. This is extremely difficult and irksome.
And that's the talents, man.
And some men have got the talent. They'll just go in there and whoop, whoop. Some men have got artistic talent.
To be set up to do those things.
Some men are artists. Yeah, oh, you can learn how to do art, but there's some men that are given to that shit, man. They got that extra portion. Yeah. Oh, man. That's it, man. The extra portion. The Lord zip that up on the algorithm. Yeah, he's gonna give him that extra bit. Like, yeah, you can learn to sing, but you don't sing like Jamie Foxx and them, man, like R. Kelly, man. The Most High had to give them, man, that voice and the ability, you know? That's how it is.
So, and in the 7th, speech, an interpreter of the computation thereof.
Right, to interpret speech, man. To be able to think. Like, everything we do is crazy, man. Like, you actually have thoughts in your head. And they don't even really know where thoughts come from. Thoughts manifest like it's a spark. You realize that like a thought in your mind manifests as a spark of electricity, right? But think of it, like that's why they call it the eureka moment, like a light bulb goes off. But where did it come from?
Like, you know, you might just be sitting there and a random thought comes into your head. Right, a spark happens and you have this thought. But what initiated the spark? That's why they call it inspiration. The word inspiration, spirit, because it's spiritual, man.
Like, why the fuck did you hear your own thoughts?
Oh, it's mad.
It's not even sound. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know, there's some people that actually don't have an inner voice.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's spooky, isn't it? Some NPCs. It's true. There's some men that don't have an inner voice. Hey, the Most High got all kind of algorithms running out of here. Yeah, he made people different, man. It's just true. But he made them that way. You know?
This is verse 6. Counsel and a tongue and eyes, ears and a heart gave he them to understand. We've always filled them with the knowledge of understanding and shoot them good and evil.
So that's why you gotta humble yourself, man. So if you're really good at something, you gotta humble yourself and don't start thinking, oh yeah, because I've got this great talent and I'm really good at this, and I look at these people as shit. You start forgetting that, yo, like the Most High, and then you start getting proud, and you know what usually happens? You start abusing your talents, and it ends up destroying you because you're not humble with it. You know, some man might not ever be able to run like you, but the Lord bless you with that. You know,
because this also, you know, produces arrogancy, man. You know, and so you start looking down on people because they ain't got what you got, and you know it comes hate.
Thank the Most High that He gave you something that others don't have. Like some kids, man, they could look at a technique and copy it, but then some kids can't copy it for shit, man.
No matter how much of shit, try to emulate it.
You know, they can learn certain movements, but they don't take it. Like one of my daughters, but she could just look at something and she start copying the fucking move, the technique. Like, what the fuck? Then my other daughter doing, I don't know what you're doing. It's like, was you watching? Was you watching? Are you watching the shit? Like, what are you? That's not the move. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what they, you know, and that's,
it's strange.
It's strange, yeah. But there's some people are like that, bro. They can't watch a technique and copy it. It takes them ages to catch on to something. Whereas someone will be like, "Oh, how do you do that?" And then all of a sudden they could just do it, man. Like it's like the algorithm.
Might not had no formal training to do certain things, man. But you watch your favorite players or whatever, and you try and emulate it, man.
Yeah,
and you learn to put it off.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. It's not because you was formally taught it, but you just managed to, you know.
That's something the Lord got to give you, man. Not everybody ain't got everybody ain't got that. You know, everybody ain't got a lot of things. You got to make do with what you got and thank the Most High for what you got, and maybe the Most High might give you more. You ain't thankful, the Most High might take away what you got, or will use it against you.
But even with talent, man, the Most High needs to give you opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity. Yes,
because like you mentioned earlier, you might be the baddest boy, you know, in the ends, man, but you don't make it, man, because that's how it happens. You know, could be something you, could be something in your family, something just messes up the situation that doesn't make you get there. Man. You know, some other dude gets it. Your man gets it. That's my spot.
Yeah.
You know, I was meant to be there.
Don't put me on the bench, coach.
You know, and it just happens that way because the Most High either does or doesn't want you to fulfill or use that time for that purpose or whatever.
It wasn't your destiny.
That's it. Hold on. This is the book of 1 Peter 5:6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Most High, that He may exalt you in due time.
There you go. That's why through humility you can be exalted, because then the Lord knows, like, okay, you know that I'm the one that did this, and you give me my dues. But when you come acting proud, like you're the one that's, you know, hold on. You know, anyone would be mad like that. You know, you boost a man and build him up to a level, and man's acting like you didn't do that. Like you know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
No respect, man.
Yo, I made you.
You man, give you no credit.
No credit, man. It's like, whoa, man, taking all the credit, you know. You know. But anyway, anything else?
No, man.
We'll close up on that, man. Yeah, look out, the algo's coming, man. Lord willing, you know. Hey, again, some brothers, they're not given to the algo. Some men are given to the algo. Brothers have got different talents, different offices. Some brothers are better at certain things than other brothers. That's the Most High. Every brother ain't gonna be the same. Everybody ain't gonna do the things the same way. Some brothers are better at certain things. Some men are bad in the editing. Some, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. But you know, the algo's coming, man. You're gonna see. We gonna try to break down some of this events that's moving forward. So yeah, with that I say, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, Barakah Kadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways. Shalom.